YouTube, I've been yapping. If you like to hear about the yaps, you never will. Unless you go follow the Twitch. Okay, let's go click some information. We're on the definitely not killing game route. You want to remember what it's called, Justin TV? I do not. It wasn't called that when I was around. Okay, but you know who missed it? We've lost Kako, but not Ema. Which means Ema. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. He's never lost his sister before.
I rang the doorbell. No answer. I tried the doorknob, but it was locked. Ema, I know you're inside. Can we talk?
Hey!
I'm trying to track down the culprit, but I need something to go on. At that, a voice called out from the other side of the door. You're awake, Mr. Sumino. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can tell you. Come on, there's gotta be something.
Unks in chat for real. For real. Chat, should we ban anyone who's in their 30s? You know, they've already got one from the grave. You see, I'm suspicious of you two. I think you may have been the one who killed my dear sister.
What are you talking about? I didn't kill her, and in the first place, Kako, she... Killed herself? Is that what you're trying to say? A preposterous suggestion. There's absolutely no reason for my dear sister to do such a thing. Hi, Offman. Oh no, I haven't seen most of my chat. Ban with a term by using unks. Well, you don't like the term unk? She had no worries, no sorrows. Even if she did develop any, she would have told me about them. My dear sister did not kill herself. I have no doubt she was murdered. Like I told you just now, I suspect that the killer may have been you, Mr. Sumino. The only reason I have an exact advantage is because I'm not completely sure it was you. And accidentally killing the wrong person will be playing right into the hands of the real culprit. But I might lose my sense of reason if we continue to speak much longer. Can you please leave now? I'm still in my right mind. I could sense that prolonging the conversation would lead nowhere. Ema refused to respond to any further attempts to talk.
No, that only gives you 2 years to watch here. Damn, Lucia, you don't act a day over 28. I root for the habit. I prefer to be Ishe? I don't know what that term is. I feel kind of bad laughing and being all jokey while Ema is so sad.
Huh?
Basically, they want to be gangsters of Australia. Oh. Oof.
Oh, you're still in the cafeteria.
Don't talk to us now. We're in the midst of a very serious discussion. No, he just refuses to listen or reason.
What's the discussion about?
I still don't believe the culprit is one of us. I'm trying to tell everyone to stop being suspicious of each other. You saw the devices told them with life forms in this school. Yes, but that doesn't prove the crimes are inside jobs. The culprit must have fled outside the wall of fire after stabbing Shoma. And we're trying to tell you that is not possible. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a killer would stop with 1 or 2 victims. They clearly said they wouldn't kill everybody, both in the tape recording and the first message. But I just can't. Takumi, say something. Ema is a pretty knocking out about old people. Damn, I just see people in their 30s. I didn't check out the word old. Quite a point you're making there, Jason.
Well... I stammered hard because I was more in line with Karaha's way of thinking than Nozomi's. I did feel bad for Nozomi, so I decided to simply avoid committing for now. Sorry, I just remembered.
I have something I needed to do. Gotta go, bye.
Wait, Takumi. Hey, come back here, please.
I ignored his always please and quickly bolted out of the room and into the hallway.
Oh my god, Takumi! Oh my god, Takumi. We'll be not 30 soon enough. And by that point, I'll have paid off my student loan. Let's go.
Medicine, one of mankind's most eminent inventions for sustaining life and dealing death.
What? This is such a good face. Takumi's just like, seriously, what are you even talking about? Who starts a conversation like that? And he's right.
Oh.
How can I help you today, Takumi?
I told Yugimu that I was investigating the case.
Does that include Kako's death too?
Yeah, the suspicious circumstances of her death bother me as well. My main objective was to solve the attempted murder of Shoma, but that didn't mean it was my only concern.
Takumi's, are you effing for real right now? For real?
Any information that might help solve Kako's case would be more than welcome. There were other cases to think about as well, like serious destruction and Gaku's murder. But I haven't found any further clues to those cases despite my thorough investigation on day 24. So, I decided to focus on Shoma's case first while the trail was still fresh. Is there something bothering you about Kako's case?
Yes, there is. Remember her cause of death?
She'd ingested tetrodotoxin, an extremely potent poison. When we found her, she was holding a bottle labeled TTX tightly in her right hand.
That bottle was originally from this biolab.
So the poison was taken from here?
That would appear to be the case.
Looking forward to being in my 40s. I've never heard someone say that before. Also, none over 30 would mean my husband can't watch. Wait, does your husband watch me? I didn't think he did. I thought he's usually asleep at this time. Looking forward to tuning in to my 20s late December, getting old, bro. Oh, nice. There's a reason I put a kappa there? Yeah, but that's just like your regular expression, so I can't really tell.
That would appear to be the case. Whether by Kako, who then killed herself with it, or by someone else who used it to kill Kako.
Is this room open to everyone?
Sure is. There's no lock on the door and the cabinets are unsecured too. Anybody could have taken anything at any time.
Okay, so chat. Last time we pointed out that Gia controlled Takumi wanted to use a kitchen knife when Hiroko saw him in the other timeline. You know what else Gia controlled Takumi did? He went to this room. He went to the biolab. That's where he attacked Hiroko. So it makes sense to me that he would grab the poison Kako. Kako runs off into the gym, bolted up, dies to the poison anyway. He goes out, finds Shoko, stabs Shoko in the back tons of times with a knife. And I don't know how we get back upstairs, but that's my theory.
Sure is, there's no lock on the door, and the cabinets are unsecured too. Anyone could have taken anything at any time. Somebody also stole my gamma fuel, plus syringes and needles to administer it.
Gamma Phil, the substance used to knock Ima out on day 27.
The very same.
Oh, but if it's still here, it hasn't been stolen, right?
There are multiple bottles here, several are missing. It didn't happen recently either. I first noticed the missing bottles on day 27.
He listened to Sherman scream the others would be difficult. I think it was recorded, but then they were able to revive his body. So that doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know the answers to your questions.
When I came here to get the supplies ready to help with Ima, I saw that there were already some missing.
Why would the killer do that?
We don't know for sure if the killer was the one who stole them. The thing is, at the proper dilution, this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing the loss of consciousness.
Could Shona have been stabbed that many times and not noticed he was stabbed? I don't think that's possible.
Perhaps that's what the thief wanted to use it for.
Then can we use the Bluetooth speaker? I mean, yeah, you know. He mentions Bun's voice is on his perfectly character, and I feel there's no voice saved in the game.
Oh, stop it. Keep complimenting me like that, and I might just have to kill you myself, Kratos.
Hiroko, you were here the other day too. What's so interesting about this place?
Oh. I wanted to investigate Kako's body again. What about you?
I'm here to investigate the case as well.
I wonder if she was like checking for gay infections or something.
As if your clumsy brain could ever bring us closer to the truth.
Oh, be quiet. Hiroko decided to repeat herself in a hushed voice.
As if your clumsy brain.
Hey!
You know that's not what I meant.
Huh, it's like, yeah, brain. It's like she knows there's something in our brain.
Anyway, have you already looked at Kako's body?
Yes, and the other two as well.
Oh, I don't Gakko too. Didn't we already check Gaku's body on day 24?
Yes, but something happened when we realized I needed to check it again.
She's checking for gay. Right then I'd be thinking, why is one so quiet? I'm like, oh, that's right. Yeah, like if Baldur's Gate 3 are your friends. Huh?
I've discovered two surprising facts after reinvestigating Kako's body.
Surprising facts?
The first concerns her cryptoglobin. Her body's been almost completely drained of it.
Huh? Wait. Wait, the gay never did anything like that.
What?
There's a cut on her ankle. Her body was likely moved somewhere and hung up for an extended time.
What?
It was returned here after being almost completely drained of cryptoglobin.
When?
I'll get to that later. Let me tell you about my other discovery first.
Hiroko walked to Kako's body and removed the sheet that was covering it. Then she flipped the body over and what I saw flabbergasted me. What the hell?
What is it?
Marks of a stolen heart.
Oh, what?
Somebody cut a hole in her back, smashed her ribs, and dug her heart out.
Why would anybody do that?
Before we talk about that, check the other bodies as well.
I did as I was told and flipped Aido and Gaku's bodies over, only to see the exact same marks on them. A large empty cavity on their backs.
Huh? And the fact that it's Aito, so like, it without a doubt happened after their deaths. What? Why? They drained Kako of all their cryptoglobin and took their hearts. This feels like some kind of satanic ritual. Huh? Hi, Christian. What indeed?
Why are you so calm about this? Their hearts have been removed from their bodies.
I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
When did this happen?
I think I'd noticed that first time you've seen the bodies. So you think it's happened recently? Maybe. This is because you've played P5X with Phantom Thieves Steel Hearts. Of course! Of course.
When we investigated Gaku's body on day 24, his back was still intact.
It still was on day 27 too. I checked Aido and Gaku's bodies when we moved Kako's over here. Nobody had any holes in their backs at that point in time.
That means it must have happened sometime after the night of day 27.
The perpetrator likely did the deed to all three at the same time. That may have been when they extracted Kako's cryptoglobin as well.
Who?
Simple logic dictates that the culprit behind the series of events did it.
But why?
Hi, Adam. I don't remember you from your name alone. Sorry. If you can remind me, I might remember. They have no hearts. Can I eat them? Am I hungry? No, you can't eat the hearts. They don't have any. Yummy hearts.
But why?
How should I know what the culprit is up to? Perhaps they're simply a lunatic who collects hearts as a hobby, or a gourmet who enjoys a spot of grilled myocardium with lemon on top. Hey, that's you, chat! I didn't know you were a gourmet, chat! Oh my gosh! Chat! Wow! I did not know.
Both examples are crazy.
There's just one thing I can't seem to figure out. Why were the hearts extracted from the back? Making an opening in the chest would make removing them so much easier. Why go about it this way? Even to hide it? I don't know, if they're lying on their backs, maybe it was something they went underneath them? I'm gonna make you 100-line reference. Why would he even do that? Hunted frogs are good. Are you calling me fat? No, but you just called yourself fat, kinda.
Neither of us could come up with anything feasible, so we decided to investigate the bodies again. But there was not a single further clue to be found.
Huh. I really do not know what to do with that information. Why from the back? If they like came back as zombies, maybe they were like stabbed in the back? Like someone stealthed around? I don't know. That's such a weird thing. You'd pull over a bag so you get all the delicious blood juices? First of all, gross. Second of all, but you could do that from the front. Like, you could do that from the front. Why would you need to do it from the back? Are they not lying on their backs? Yeah, they're lying on their backs, which means they'd have to be flipped over, cut a hole in the back, and then flip them back. Because even if they I don't know. That's... I don't know. The back is more soft too. Like what? They only took the heart, as far as the game's told us. Takumi, long time no see. I heard you're out cold for a while.
I woke up all of a sudden for some reason.
How many times have we gone unconscious? 1, 2, 3. Chat, what if someone is using the hearts to bring us back? Like, what if the only way to wake us up from our thing is to give us hearts? I do not know why, how that would work. I'm glad you did. Is there something I can help you with today?
There was no point asking Ava about the case, so I decided to talk about something else.
The hearts are expected after 27. True. True. True.
Huh? Do you remember what you told me before?
It was bothering me that much. I had to choose between lying to you and eventually killing everyone here, or telling you the truth and joining your side.
And then you said you'd decide to take your chances with us, right?
Yes, I will no longer try to self-destruct in everyone's presence, for the reasons I previously explained.
Then, will you fight with us instead?
What?
Veshinus, the one who betrayed you, is still alive, right? By joining us in battle, you personally take revenge against her and her underlings.
Is that why Tsubasa asked to conduct a thorough investigation of my body the other day? So that if I ever tried anything, your team would be able to detonate the bomb inside my body remotely. Using the device she made? Why do they keep playing the Romantico Stay? Because we have a beautiful waifu on screen! Duh! This guy.
Yeah, but I just want to make one thing clear. I didn't ask for this device because I'm suspicious of you. It's just something that's needed to put the others at ease. Ava thought for a second about what I said.
Maybe a coincidence, but day 27 is the day Takumi lost consciousness, captured the hearts when he was sleeping. Yeah, while he was sleeping. But not the first 2 times he was sleeping. Only the 3rd time he was sleeping. McRiz, I think? Hell yeah. Miss Vanilla in shambles. Who needs Nozomi anyway? It's more like who's Omi, am I right? Alright, you saved my life, so if there's anything I can do to help you, I'll do it.
Thank you. Unfortunately, you'll still have to wait for a while before I can get you out of there. I need to clear it with the others first.
Understood. I'll wait. What kind of bad fish? She's been in a cage for... well, like 2-3 weeks? Ugh. Tsubasa all the way, Tsubasa 3rd. Darumi is first. It's kind of annoying. None of the guys in this roster are very... I don't know. Yugu was my favorite of the guys, but like... I just don't vibe with Takamaru. Aito is a weirdo creep. Serial killer. Gaku is a sleazy loser. Ima and Kako can neither of you could be husbando nor waifu because they're so attached to each other. Shoma is blah. And we're playing the last male. So like... I feel like oh man. Okay. Currently my order of waifus and husbandos goes to Rumi, Karara, Hiroko, Kyoshika, Nozomi, Yugumu, then Tsubasa. Oh, I didn't even consider Moko. She's not even considered on my list. Look at the upside, Derpa. At least Tsubasa made my list. Maybe my opinion will change. We get a Tsubasa route. We've literally not had a Tsubasa route. The sword is fun. The sword is number one. True, of course. How could I not love the Holy Jumanji sword?
What are you guys doing here?
It isn't the serial killer Takumi. You're awake.
I'm not a serial killer, so stop calling me that. Anyway, I'm investigating the identity of the culprit right now. Do you mind if I ask a few questions?
Whoa, can you be any more shameless? That criminal's role-playing as detective now.
I'm not talking to you, I'm asking Shoma.
Oh, you want to know about the person who stabbed me? I've told the others a bunch of times already. I didn't get a good look at them. Wait, I thought you were sure Takumi did it. Yeah, but it's not like I have any proof, so...
Does that mean you didn't see the culprit when you were stabbed?
No, I did see someone, but they were wearing a mask.
You didn't mention that before.
How about the person's height or body structure?
I can't be sure. They were dressed in a long black poncho thing.
You must have seen some identifiable features.
I was attacked the moment I turned around, so I'm afraid not. I screamed immediately before I realized that I'm being shoved onto the ground. I don't remember anything after that. I fainted after the first 2 or 3 stabs.
So you don't even know if it was a man or woman?
No.
Did they say anything?
Actually, I did hear something as I was being stabbed. The person kept saying, die, die.
Then you should have been able to recognize the voice.
The thing is, I didn't.
Why not?
Your voice had been changed with a voice changer.
A voice changer, huh?
Huh. This is the first time Kiwi talked to Shoma who wakes up. Oh, true. True. I guess he was dead last... Guess he was dead last time we were awake, huh? Very, very, very true. Huh. A mask, a poncho, and a voice changer. The only, like, poncho type thing I can think of is Vishnus at the start of the route wears a poncho. Or Karara kind of wears a poncho. No other character I can think of wears such a thing. Is that a Scream reference? Is it? I think I've seen Scream 1 and 2. Or part 2. They were going on while I was in the next room over on my computer.
I went to the gym last. When I stepped inside, I saw that Tsubasa and Takamaru were already there. Tsubasa, Takamaru, perfect timing. I need to ask you guys about something.
What is it?
Remember the voice changer you showed me in the garage the other day? Is it still there? Shoma told you about the culprit using the voice changer, huh? Yeah, he did.
You guessed right, Yumi. The device has gone missing.
I knew it. The culprit stole it, huh?
I think so.
When did you realize it was gone?
On day 28, the day Shoma regained consciousness, I went to the garage to check after hearing the story end.
The voice changer was already gone?
Yeah, without anyone realizing.
She showed us the voice changer in the afternoon of day 24. So it must have been stolen between that time and the morning of day 27, before Shoma got stabbed.
Hey, you know Ghostface, because mask and leg on point of voice changer? It's honestly, it's been so long since I saw it.
What are you two doing here, though? I did a lot of thinking myself while you were out, and I just don't believe Kako would kill herself.
Me too. At first, suicide seemed the only possibility based on the situation. After listening to Hiroko, though, I started to realize how unnatural the whole thing seemed.
But if she was killed, how'd the culprit get away? That's what we need to figure out.
And so, here we are.
Maybe there's a secret tunnel or something here that we completely missed, you know? We were all here to do the same thing then.
You mean...
Yeah, Kako died under such mysterious circumstances that I can't stop thinking about it. Let's check this place out together.
Yeah, and we can trust each other since all three of us here are safers.
Safers?
Those of us that can be safely removed from the list as suspects. Safers.
That's true. And thus we began to investigate the gym. We ran around knocking on walls and floors to check for hidden doors. Some time passed for Takamaru shouted out from the stage. Hey, come over here! I rolled a D20 investigation! I have a +7, so that's like 24. He was standing in the corner of the stage. Tsubasa and I hurried over. What in the world?
No, wait. There really was a hidden tunnel, or should I say hidden ladder?
Damn, the DM must have planned this whole dungeon for us. Shotgun playing as a bard. Takumi, you can be our party fighter. Tsubasa, you're the wizard.
We play it old school, found the passage, tapping each centimeter of the room, not a skill check. Oh my god, you almost got a 25, Steve.
I checked this place before, but I found nothing. What did you do? Told you I've got a dog's hearing. I knocked on the floor, and knew right away there was an empty space underneath. Then I groped around the surface, and what do you know? Rotatable handle came flipping out. Grabbed the handle, pulled it, and there you have it.
Let's go see what's down there.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We've never seen this room before. Do you guys think it's gonna be creepy down there?
Lilburn one kiss.
I saw the text as well, but it's always the first thing of the night. It's always delayed. And I was not expecting a loud sound. It was a cat. Was there? Oh my god. Vermin did the countdown. That's tricky. Thank you for the donation. And yeah, it did come from here. Okay. Creepy time.
We slowly made our way down the long ladder.
It was deliberated in your server, by the way. Oh my god, it was. This is why I have trust issues.
Eventually, I felt my toes touching solid ground. What I saw there was...
Huh? Wait! This is the escape pod! Also, is someone spamming kid pets? Because I don't see any messages in chat about kid pets. Am I crazy here? I just saw 3 kid pets. Did anyone actually redeem that? Or is the thing bugging out? Hi, Max.
Isn't this...
Yeah, I saw Max redeem that kid pet. Oh my god. There's a ghost. There's a ghost touching my head. How did I not realize this was here? We've seen this pod so many times. Obviously, there was somewhere underground to keep it.
Isn't this... You know this thing? Yeah, remember what I told you before? This is the escape pod that deploys on the last day.
No way.
Damn!
Does that mean if we can get inside?
We can go to the artificial satellite. We ran to the entrance of the pod and checked the door. There was a note pinned to it. The door to this pod automatically opens on day 100. No manual override available. Despite the note, we kept looking around for a way to open it manually. However, we weren't able to find anything. No, this thing can't be opened from the outside. How about we use crowbar to pry it open?
Then the pod becomes useless because outer space is a vacuum.
So we have no choice but to wait until day 100.
We'll have to give up on the idea of boarding this pod before then.
Shit!
By the way, have you guys forgotten why we came down here in the first place?
Of course not. We're trying to solve the locked room case, weren't we? Yeah, Hidoko and I thoroughly investigated the gym after discovering Kako's body. But if the killer had been hiding in the storeroom or the ladder shaft at the time?
You couldn't possibly have found them.
Then after you and Hidoko left the gym, the killer got out and walked through the exit like nothing ever happened.
Which means Kako really was killed.
We don't have concrete proof of that yet. However, this does disprove the previous notion that it couldn't possibly be a murder.
Wait. Assuming from when she was murdered. Wouldn't that also prove the killer was an outsider? Because when we found Kako's body, Takamara, Shoma, and I were in the infirmary, whereas everyone else was in the gym.
No, not everyone else. 2 were missing.
Darumi and Ema?
That's right, Rumi and Ema. Ema couldn't have been the killer. He was at the ground she walked on. Rumi, though, she said she was playing slots or something. She could have been lying through her teeth.
But it's always possible that an outsider did it.
You made that life detection device yourself. Unless you're telling me you made that number up.
I didn't know such thing. That was the correct number, but the killer could have already gone away with time finish making the device, right? Little Bunny thinks we're real. When Naoki was explained. Who's Little Bunny? I do not know that person, Steve. Die makes me the Darumi. It makes me think of Takumi, because doesn't Takumi have the thought every once in a while? Which is just like die.
Just then, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. An item on the ground next to the cockpit of the escape pod.
Bro, yeah, Exactly, you just spelled my name correctly that time, Steve. The room was locked from the inside, and the killer definitely didn't really kill Shoma. Not necessarily. Look, like, I don't know how it works. But, like, Danganronpa, every Danganronpa game has a locked room murder case. There's always a way that it somehow works.
It caught my eye for some reason, and I walked slowly over there to pick it up. Hey, what's that?
I too. Ima Tsukumo?
Hey, what's that?
A handkerchief.
So it seems. I see someone embroidered on it.
That reads IT.
Information technology.
Congrats, Benza! You share the same brain cell as Takamaru. Or maybe just it, as in it girl?
Could it be referring to initials of a name?
And I share a brain cell with Takumi.
Ima.
Tsukumo. But why? My condolences. Did you play Zenless Zone Zero? I played like an hour of it, but I haven't really played it, no. I was supposed to play it. That was when I couldn't stream for... It's when I couldn't stream and when I had no internet. So I got on my phone, but... yeah. I don't love mobile games, so I didn't really play it on my phone very much. Yeah, I can't even think of it. I cannot even think of a theory of why it might be Ima. The only thing I can think of is that he is in some way possessed, be it by a gear or something else.
When we exited the gym, we saw that it was already nighttime.
It's on PC? Yeah, I know it is. I just haven't...
I asked Takamaru and Tsubasa to gather the others before heading to Ima's room myself. Come out, Ima! I need to ask you about something! Somehow I felt like he would keep hiding if I told him about the handkerchief. So I decided to not say anything for now.
Chat! He hasn't come out in a couple of weeks. I wonder if he's, you know, like Root's non-transform.
We found a clue that may lead us to Kako's killer. I made that assertion even though I had no solid proof she had been killed, because I wanted to get him out of the room. A short while later, I heard the door being unlocked. And then Ima appeared from behind it.
No. You believed me about my dear sister being murdered.
Yeah, can you come with me? Slowly but surely, Ima nodded in assent.
So he said, yeah. You made a good point. I just haven't.
Takamaru, Tsubasa, and I took everyone to the storeroom where the escape pod was being kept. We told them how we'd found the place and how the pod could only be used on day 100. After climbing back out, we all headed to the cafeteria.
It's weird there was a note on there. If they had a picture of the note or something, I don't know, I almost feel like someone else could have put it there. To, like, try and keep us here. Because it... I don't know, it feels weird to leave a sticky note on a spaceship. Like, surely anyone who knows it's there would know how it works. So, what was the clue that you found?
Before that, I need to check something with Darumi. On day 27, when we found Kako's body, were you really playing slots at that time?
Huh? You're still suspicious of me? Then check the machine's play log. Then you'll know for sure I was playing around that time. And how could I possibly stab Shoma if I've been hiding in the storeroom the whole time? The only way out of that place is through the tunnel, right? I wouldn't have been able to get there with that gem until the coast was clear.
Mayhaps you clambered out of the escape pod's elevator shaft.
I'm no Spider-Woman, and that shaft has no foothold. It's impossible to climb.
The ceiling of the shaft is covered with a thick wall. It's not something that can be opened by human hands.
How about this? You were the one to kill Kako, but not the one to stab Shoma.
You're suggesting there were two culprits?
Indeed I am. And does the number 2 ring any bells with regard to this situation?
When we found Shoma's body, there were 2 people missing from the scene. You're suspicious of me as well?
Eva's face twisted into a grimace. I hesitated for a moment when I saw his expression, but decided to show everyone the handkerchief we'd found. This is the clue I was talking about. We found it in the escape pod storeroom.
The letters I need to get being embroidered on it.
Are these initials?
What did that refer to? Imasukumo.
I thought so. This is your handkerchief, right, Ema?
And the fact that it was in the storeroom means... Sir, Ema killed Lady Kako? Are you out of your mind? Me, kill my very own dear sister.
I didn't think that was possible either. Unless Ema was the one to stab Shoma and Darumi was the one to kill Kako. Ema dropped the handkerchief in the store when he was casing the joint.
I told you it wasn't me.
You think Miss Am and me and I were accomplices? And that I tactically approved of my dear sister's murder? There's no different from accusing me of killing my dear sister myself! You're all crazy. I can't believe you... that thought even crossed your minds. So you deny the charge? Of course I do!
Then explain yourself. Why was your handkerchief in the storeroom?
That's because...
You see, you are feeling guilty.
No, no. No, 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 no! Huh? Wait, why is he running?
Ema dashed out of the cafeteria screaming. Wait, Ema! We all dashed after him. Ema grabbed the fire extinguisher in the entrance hall before running outside. We followed him as he ran out of the building. He was running at full speed through the schoolyard and none of us could catch up. Finally, he tore through the wall of fire and ran to the other side. We followed behind.
Huh?
When we got to the city ruins, something unexpected happened. All of a sudden, a large object shaped like an onion appeared out of nowhere and captured Ema. He was running ahead of us. Ema! The onion object then flew up high into the air with Ema and vanished out of sight.
What just happened? And what was that thing?
I'd seen that onion-shaped thing before in the previous timeline. That was probably a commander.
And that's how a true lady slaughters her prey.
Okay, this is the command we've probably seen like the least.
Are you serious? Ema's being captured by the enemy.
No way.
That can be true. It's alright, we can probably figure out where they went.
What?
You know how he's been rather emotionally unstable lately, right? So I thought he might just go off and missing one day, so... I secretly planted a transmitter in his body when bringing food to him. Hey, Deathit! Is this in your eyes a green flag or a red flag?
Why would she even do that? Oh, hell no. I say an orange flag? You know what the crazy thing is? She could have done this to all of us in every single timeline and never admitted it. How do you sneak it inside of someone? I don't know. I guess if it's small enough. You put in the food. We should be able to see where they took him from the war room. You clever girl, you. Nozomi thinks it's fine.
Okay, let's all head back for now.
You're heading back?
We traced the transmitter and quickly figured out exactly where Amy had been taken. It was the enemy relay station we'd visited in the previous timeline.
Oh, that's why I had to give you information. Hi, Sleepy.
We immediately started making a plan to get Ema back. After some discussion, we decided to split into 2 teams. The rescue team, me, Hiroko, Takamaru, Tsubasa, and Karara. The defense team, Nozomi, Moko, Kyoshika, Yuki, Shoma, and Terumi.
Must we rescue him even though he may very well be the killer?
It's not set in stone yet. What if it was all a mistake? Could you ever live with the fact that you'd abandoned an innocent friend?
I knew you would say that. I was just making sure. Having only 5 people in the defense room is not very reassuring.
Happy birthday, Sleepy! Happy birthday! Here, let me give you a birthday cookie. Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Drink water? You got it. You probably have assumed he was taking me from Mr. Blinkering to me. I mean... if you have a way to confirm it, you may as well.
Yeah, can't we add one more or something?
No, what if beat me a text in the meantime? We can't afford to be lax on home security. In that case, Takumi.
Yeah, it's time. Everybody follow me.
Wait, I got a birthday cookie on my birthday? Why was I not informed of this? I'm so sorry. Lame Derpeth. Yay! Sir Takumi, Lady Ava is out and about now. Why have you done such a thing?
Yeah, as you can see, I let her out.
But why?
I intend to let her join the rescue team.
Huh?
I explained about the bomb in Ava's body and the remote detonator we had made to trigger it.
You really think this will work?
If you feel she's acting suspicious, you can press the button to blow her up for yourself.
Huh?
I put the remote detonator into an astonished Hiroko's hand. Now do you feel reassured? Hiroko fell silent at my words. After a few moments, she said,
Have it your way. Thank you for having me on the team. I look forward to being useful to you. Man, Ava's really cute in this route. I didn't even put her in the waifu ratings earlier because I genuinely felt very... I don't know. It's hard to romanticize someone that I just feel pity for. But like in this route, I feel less pity than usual. We need a B-Day emote cookie only Bun can use. Oh. Do it for Ava, not the Zomi. I think this route would make Brainwash Shiva feel even worse. Oh my god, it would have.
alright then, we'll be back.
Jump with Dima. Good luck. Stay safe. So chat, do you think that there are more routes where we don't have a brainwashed Eva on the team? Because I don't know. Even now I'm like, Eva doesn't have any plot armor. We've yet to see her in combat. Like, I don't know, this may be the only route in the game where she's herself.
The rescue team set off for the enemy relay station where Ema was being held captive. It was a bright and sunny day. By the time we got close to the relay station, the sun was just starting to rise.
Damn, quite a drive.
We got off the bus and climbed up a small hill to survey the relay station.
Whoa! Excuse me,
We
sir?
don't know where exactly Ema
You
is
just
being
ding
held
dong
in this
bing bong,
base,
then there was
but
no
that
ding dong
doesn't
bing
matter.
bong.
Let's just bust in there and start kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, you guys already saw how that commander could fly.
Also, we have Ava in the bus with
Has to be
us.
Quenzele.
Quenzele?
She has info for us.
Yes, and he's an absolute creep. Feel free to make mincemeat out of him.
A flying enemy? Sounds like a headache already. How do we even get to him? We'll be fine with my specialist skill on our side. I'll whip up some surface-to-air artillery and knock him down in one shot. The thing is, I'll have to start crafting it after he actually appears.
Why? Can't you just make it
Well,
now?
normal Ava sounds much more natural.
This
Weird that.
particular weapon can only hold its shape for 5 minutes. After that, its internal pressure will cause it to explode.
Got it. Guess there's no helping it then.
Yo!
Mr_MaxXD gifted a tier 1 sub to Sleepy_Will_99.
Thank you, Max.
They have given
I really
258
appreciate
gift
it.
subs in the channel.
And I'm sure that Sleepy will too. Because now he can post Lil Bun One laser beam.
Okay, guys, let's do this. Special Defense Unit, move out.
Oh! Thank you again.
Mr_MaxXD gifted a tier 1 sub to the _Craters. They have given
Thank you.
259 gift subs in the channel.
Oh my god, there's so many. That is a gift for your birthday. Yo! There one-ups my cookie. Thank you very much. I'm sure he's also super happy. Oh wow, crash out cutscene in the invader base. Yeah, we've only seen this like 2 or 3 times. Okay, here's an interesting thing. Why is Ava using the prototype class armor? If we trust her, she should be allowed to use her regular armor in this route. Obviously for gameplay reasons they didn't, but like, this is the one time it makes a lot of sense. Rip Steve, you don't have the emotes to post.
Now, do you understand that I would never betray you?
I believe you.
I shall reserve judgment until this entire battle is over.
I wonder if normal Ava has different voice lines in combat. Can you brainwash Ava? I guess we'll never know now. Have to refresh? No, it's because he's not a sub creator.
Where's the commander?
That Quenzele guy?
He should be here any time now. Aha. Speak of the devil.
Uh-huh.
I am the paragon of repulsion, Quenzele.
Who even wants to be? What kind of name is that? Paragon of Repulsion. Why would anyone be like, I am the definition of repulsing? Look at me. I'm repulsing.
He's finally here. Like
What is the metaphor reference? How's your last name?
Everybody, cover Kurata while she crafts the artillery.
Understood.
Got it.
Who says they get to choose their names? I mean, at the very least, he's using his name. Look at me, I dropped slimy bowling balls.
It's set. Told you it would.
That gives me massive near replicant vibes. Calling everyone ugly makes him feel little like the invader vision of Ido.
And that's how a true lady slaughters her prey.
No, because I didn't think we were ugly, thought we were monsters. I kind of get what you're saying, but only kind of. He did not get one tap. That just brought him down to the level. And then we had a massive super long fight that took like 20 turns. And I skipped it. Because that's what heroes do.
The pain. It hurts. Why do this? What has prompted this cruelty?
Serves you right, Quenzele.
You're... Ava. I noticed you were
Ava
here a while
Lord,
back,
Quinzel
but
Lord.
Does this mean you've switched allegiances?
Yes. It's not as if I had any future in the Sovereign Army anyway.
Hang on, I'm gonna make sure I get this right. Google, define sovereign. A supreme ruler, especially a monarch. Okay, it doesn't tell us gender or anything. Just that they do have a... I guess that's probably Vishnis? Because it's not a holy army, so they're not doing it for the name of their god.
Suddenly, Quinzel broke off and stared at something behind us.
Overlord Vashnis! What?
We all turned around at the same time, but...
Huh? There's no one there.
Don't tell me.
We turned back around, but it was too late. During those precious few seconds, the defeated commander had disappeared completely.
He got away?
Huh! Chat, if you remember, in the last combat, Vishnu saved who we were fighting. Not a single commander is dead in this route so far. Not a single commander, unless someone died off screen, is dead in this route so far.
Freaking coward.
I guess you could say that Quenzele has been... Quenzled.
Number one waifu! She is now my number one waifu! Screw Darumi! Screw everyone else! I love her!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This is a localization joke, right? I mean... Probably. I don't know how that joke would work in Japanese.
After the battle, we split up to look for Ima. It took a while, but I eventually found him locked up in a cage.
Ima, are you alright? Hold on. I'll get you out now.
Mr. Samino!
I swung my sword down in the lock and it broke apart with a loud noise. I opened the door and quickly guided Ima outside, but then I saw something flashing out of the corner of my eye, right next to the cage.
Mom?
The next moment,
Mr. _ Max XD gifted a tier 1 sub to Monokuma XD13. They have
Thank
given
you.
260 gift
Thank
subs in the
you.
channel.
Okay. I'm a little torn, chat. Is this the Ava romance route? Or is this the Ima BL route?
I instinctively grabbed Ima from behind. The snap action meant my body shielded Ima from the brunt of the blast. A scalding pain ripped through my back. I choked down a cry of pain and asked,
Ima, are you okay? Yes. But what about you? Yeah, don't worry about me. As long as you're fine. Huh? Huh? Mr. Sumino? Mr. Sumino! Mr. Sumino!
Wait. What day were we at? Oh my gosh. The 4th time on this route we've woken up to Nozomi. Oh. Look how many days we've skipped on this route. Okay.
I woke up to the expected sight of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. This time, she wasn't shocked at all. Instead, she looked at me with a gentle softness in her eyes.
Morning. You're awake now?
I didn't have to ask about the day since it was mentioned in the announcement just now.
It's day 50 today.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about the feeding drips. We went to the second academy and brought a whole lot back.
Oh. Thanks as always.
You should thank the others too. They were the ones who actually got the drips, and I wasn't the only person taking care of
Has
you
Ima
while you
been
were
looking
out.
after me?
I sat up in bed for some strange reason. I wasn't feeling any aches or pains.
You seem fine physically. The truth is, your external injuries weren't as bad as they seemed.
Which means the real reason I was out for such a long time was because of the fainting disease.
I think so.
Has anything changed?
If you mean the murder cases, we haven't made any progress. Ima and Darumi are still denying that they were working together. To Boss and I don't believe they did anything either, but the others. Oh, something else has changed though. Ima's been taking part in the defensive battles.
What?
You shielded him back at the enemy relay station, remember? He said he joined the fight for you.
I see.
Did you kill the commander in that battle you had? Or was your commander? That said, he's still as reticent as ever and hardly ever leaves his room otherwise. Who can blame him though? Other than Tsubasa and me, everyone's suspicious of him. But he did say that he was willing to tell you and only you everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so go find him later, okay?
Later? Were you expecting me to not act right now after what you just told me? I jumped up and dashed outside immediately.
Now who's gonna be the Gaku to BL content? I would guess it's either Darumi or Kyoshika. If there is any. Drink water. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot this is what his room looked like. Mr. Sumino, first of all, thank you for saving me that day from the bottom of my heart. I thank you.
Don't mention it, really. What I really want to hear from you is some answers. Ima nodded firmly.
Wait, this is the romantic music, isn't it? The game knows. I was gonna tell you everything after you woke up anyway. Not only because I owe you a debt of gratitude, but also because I'm not sure you couldn't have been the killer.
Huh?
Because the real killer would never risk his own life to save me like that. It is my deepest desire to find the person who killed my dear sister. And then smash their face in with a hammer over and over again until there's nothing left of it.
Huh?
Yet, I am but a detective's assistant. I do not deal well with the deductions.
Huh?
So, I've decided to entrust this earnest wish of mine to you.
Ah.
I've the utmost confidence that you have what it takes to bring the truth to light.
I intend to do just that as soon as I get some answers from you. Now, first of all, why didn't you kill Darumi?
What?
You think the killer is one of us, don't you?
Yeah.
Can I just say, I love...
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I always want to make that, like, one of my, like, notification sounds.
Yeah.
Maybe someone, like, follows and it goes.
Yeah.
Or they raid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it. I don't know if I can be bothered trying to extract the audio.
When Kako's body was found, you and Darumi were the only ones not in the gym. Unless you were the killer, but that can't be, right?
Of course not.
If so, from your perspective, only one other person could have been hiding in the storm at that point in time.
Chat, are you guys heat patting me? Nobody's heat patting me, but there's heat pats happening. What is... Dude, that time it's max. But it happened again. It's happening again. What? That time's sleepy. That time is sleepy. If heat pads happen, I'm genuinely not. Like that! Why did it happen 3, 4 times there? 5 times? What? Chat, genuinely, if one of you is doing this, you have to tell me how. Please. Please, I genuinely think my software might be broken.
None other than Darumi, yet you didn't go smash your head in with a hammer until there was nothing left. Why not?
Mr. Sumino, I can see what you're getting at, and you are right. It was because I knew it was possible for someone else to have been my dear sister's killer.
Because there's a hidden exit in the storeroom, right? He nodded slowly in response to my question. Opposite the cockpit section of the escape pod lay a heap of metal containers. When we moved the heap away, we found a large ventilation shaft. Is this it?
Yes.
It's big enough even for Takamaru and Moko to pass through.
You are quite right.
Have you ever gone inside before?
No, sir.
I stuck my head in the shaft but couldn't see anything in the pitch black darkness.
Chat. I reckon this connects to our rooms. I reckon this is evidence we did it.
When did you realize there was a storeroom here?
About day 10, I would say. My dear sister found the entrance first. She was the one who brought me here. After that, we would secretly visit this place together whenever we had some free time. Became something like a secret hiding spot of ours.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
I did not tell you before because I thought you were my dear sister's killer. I did not tell the others because, well, promise me you will not get angry.
Yeah.
Because my sister and I had intended to flee this place together in that escape pod.
That's not possible. The door can't be opened manually.
We thought we could do something about that by tinkering with the control system in the war room.
I sighed and continued the conversation. But you kept this place a secret even after Kaku was murdered. If you told us about it, we'd been able to accept your assertion that Kaku hadn't killed herself.
I promised, my dear sister.
Ghosted pets.
That no matter what happened, I would never tell anyone about this place. She had tears in her eyes when she made me promise. Huh? Yeah!
True_soul_king gifted a tier 1 sub to Stream Elements.
Thanks,
They have
TK.
given 124 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. People haircut. I don't know.
I'm restarting the software. I'm that suspicious.
Wait. I have a theory. I have a theory for the kid pets.
If it loaded, it won't. If it loads.
Come on. I have to work this out.
No. Okay. My theory was that maybe one of the mods had been refunding the head pets, and in the same way the refunding a throw makes it throw. I thought maybe that was happening when my mods were trolling me. That does not appear to be the case. I also am gonna refund one just to see if it works anyway. And it does work. Hey, mods. Okay, which one of you frick is this doing it? I saw it go up. There.
I think. One of you is doing it, mods. Genuinely. Don't refund people's points. I don't know who's doing it. But I will be very upset if you keep doing it. I can see it being refunded. Genuinely don't. Looks name's confirming, by the way. Regardless, please don't do it, because that means more like push-ups for me and stuff. One of you is still doing it. Mods, which one of you is breaking the rules? We'll put if someone's refunding points, then that they check and use the points for other things. And that's not good. Twitter's not refunded? Oh, wait, were you admitting to doing it, Coda? We're saying confirm? Yeah, but the thing is, I can't tell if you're confirming or not. Regardless, don't confirm them either. We maybe have to go through and make all these not saved to the list. It's me the whole time from my troll role. Look. I don't want to go into it, but I've had to unmod someone before because they would spam expensive things and refund themselves secretly. So I'm like, that's why we have the rule don't touch it. Because they made me do it. I mean, how long? Don't make this a trust thing. I'm just asking you. Don't do that. Cheers. Okay, I'm getting back to the game. Yeah. Got it, thank you. Throw him in the mod pit. I want us to live together in the Tokyo residential complex again. Just the two of us. But we have to get out of this place first. We'll be killed one day if we stay here.
Yeah! I believe I may have dropped the handkerchief at that time. Huh? When I was putting it back in my pocket after wiping my dear sister's tears away. This place was our sanctuary. We didn't want anyone else invading our space. Even after my dear sister lost her life, I felt like I'd be desecrating her memory by allowing someone else in. That is why I told nobody.
Large tears started rolling down Ima's cheeks, and I wordlessly held out his handkerchief to him. Ima accepted the handkerchief and clenched it tightly in his hand. He squeezed his eyes shut. And for the long time after that, his shoulders trembled non-stop. After Ima had calmed down, we climbed back up to the surface. Tsubasa was in the garage as usual when we stepped out inside.
Trying to think. Okay, I have a new theory, by the way, chat. Ventilation. Here is my theory, chat. Shoma might be the killer. Because he is small enough to fit through the ventilation. We found him out back of the school. Why would he be back there? I don't know, but if there were to be like ventilation things he could get out of, the back of the school would be a pretty good, like, that's where I would expect ventilation the lead. I don't know how or why he got stabbed. Maybe Kako stabbed him. Maybe... I don't know, something else. Yeah. It's not, I don't know. I don't even know if I believe this here. I'm just putting it out there. Hima, you're an unusual sight around here.
Even more unusual than me being awake.
I mean, I already heard about you from Nozomi. She's been going around telling everyone the news, you know? Anyway, what's up?
Just wanted to know if there was a recon drone anywhere around here. With lights and cameras if possible.
Yeah, but what do you need it for?
It's kind of hard to explain. You just come with us and bring the recon drone.
We needed to solve the case.
Tsubasa blinked a few times in quick succession to Hima's words.
Alright, give me a sec. Uh-oh, if there's ventilation shaft here, that means I see how it is now.
Yeah, exactly. If Kako was killed, the presence of the shaft makes everyone in the academy a suspect. Including the savers for Shoma's case.
Including me, yet you've brought me here. Does that mean you trust me?
Kind of, sort of.
You don't sound very sure. I'll take it though. Okay, let's start.
Thanks. We used the drone to investigate the ventilation shaft. As a result, we were able to make a few major discoveries.
As a result, we were 5 few major discoveries. That's a weird character in the text box there. Oh hey, it's gone. Weird that. Too late, David. Oh, you're trying to put the thighs on her. Right. In summary, this is what we've learned. First of all, the shaft bends in a zigzag shape a few times and extends toward the school building.
It splits into a grid structure halfway and connects to different parts of the building.
Anybody using this can basically exit from anywhere they like. However, the bends are extremely narrow and people our size can possibly get through them.
Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends.
Called it! Called it! I'm more concerned about what we found halfway.
Yeah, me too. This thing, right? This thing got caught on a protrusion in the interior wall.
I know what that is. Hey, chat! Green fabric, huh? Thankfully, we were able to retrieve it because I had the foresight to attach a robotic arm to the drone. It's a piece of cloth, right? A square green piece of cloth, about 1 inch long.
I looked at Ima, then Tsubasa. They looked back at me with wide, questioning eyes. It was apparent they hadn't yet realized the grave implication behind this. Maybe a certain incident blinded them to the existence of that possibility. I put the piece of cloth in my pocket, looked them both in the eye, and said, Tell everyone to gather at the gym at 7 p.m. tonight.
Huh? This is quite sudden.
Please just do it. They turned to look at each other.
I don't mind. What will you be doing until then?
Well, you'll see. I had enough proof to make my case, but I just wanted one more piece of key evidence. So I went to the back of the school, to the place where Shoma was stabbed. I spent a few hours there thoroughly investigating every nook and cranny. Before long, the sun set and my shadow started growing longer. It was at that time that I found something. A faint trace of blood on a corner of a rock. It was maybe 30 feet away from where Shoma had been stabbed. I didn't think blood from his injuries could have sprayed that far, which meant...
which means he had moved after being stabbed. Maybe even, okay, maybe Kako attacked him back. And to hide his injury, thank you for the hearts. To hide his injury, he stabbed himself? I don't know where he'd get the murder weapon though. Cause that's the part that the murder weapon still doesn't make sense.
I entered the gym at 7 p.m. sharp to find everybody already gathered there. Ava, you're here too?
Yes, I received an official release. I've been given Idol's room and do not have to sleep in the cage anymore. Whole credit goes to Takumi and Tsubasa. The remote detonator you suggested has allowed everyone to accept my presence with the greatest peace of mind. I duplicate the device and give a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi.
Nah, I don't need one.
That aside, what are we all here for?
Well, you see... I turned my gaze upwards and slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma.
Okay, this is just funny the amount they're going through. Mr. Suno, wait a minute, please! You just said with absolute certainty that my dear sister was indeed killed?
Yeah, the situation points to that fact.
Who did it?
Ava, I need you to promise me something first. Promise you won't lay a finger on the killer when you realize who they are. I won't tell you the truth unless you promise me that. I saw him gritting his teeth with a scowl on his face. Still, he nodded firmly and said,
Fine. I promise that I won't lay a finger on that cursed scum.
Good. All right. Much as I wish I didn't have to do this, here goes. The person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma. It was. The name of that person is...
What?
the person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma is...
Ah! I mean, I know who it is, but I'm very curious about making a wrong decision here. There's one ending. No, there cannot be one ending. It has to be a right and a wrong ending. Maybe there's a third, like, joke ending. It was Aito! Pick yourself. I don't know. I want to do the right choice. Because I want to feel really smart. Trying to pay out the ending numbers.
The real killer. You! Shoma Genzaki!
What are you talking about, Takumi? Have you forgotten that I was a victim too? I was
It's a voice, so that's how you know we're right.
Stop running your mouth and just watch as I expose every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
Man, this really does sound like Danganronpa music. Okay! We're playing Danganronpa!
I'll tell you what happened in chronological order. Let's start with Kako. Her estimated time of death is between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 27. You met up with her before that on day 26 to tell her to come to the gym during that period of time. So she showed up at the gym as asked, where you made up some reason for her to swallow that thing.
That thing? What thing?
I'm talking about TTX. Tetrodotoxin.
Objection? Yeah, you have to say no, that's wrong.
It's extremely poisonous. Ingesting just 1 or 2 milligrams is fatal. That's how you poison Kako to death. After poisoning Kako, you put the bottle of TTX into her right hand. Then you block the gym door using a mop as a latch.
You denied the killing game, you ended up in an actual killing game route. Yeah, funny that.
Thinking you could make your death seem like a suicide with all that nonsense.
Well, hey, Raynond.
Once that was done, you climbed down the ladder at the corner of the stage into the escape pod storeroom. You already knew that Shaft was there. Cause you'd seen Ima and Kaku go into the trapdoor before. You did your homework and went down and checked out the storeroom as well before carrying out your plan. That's why you also knew about the ventilation shaft. And you used that vent to return to the school building. That's the main reason causing me to single you out as the culprit.
The main reason.
Anyone could have used the ventilation shaft to get back into the school.
I can. Because of how the shaft bends in a zigzag shape and extends towards the school building.
The bends are extremely narrow. Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. In other words, the only one who could have gone through those narrow bends is you, Shoma.
You can't say that for sure. A girl that's flexible enough could have passed through as well, right?
No, it's physically impossible. Anyway, there was something left behind in the ventilation shaft. That's what's going to serve as irrefutable proof of your guilt.
Irrefutable proof?
Your red underwear.
Let's see this proof. What is it?
Here it is. This square piece of inch-wide green cloth.
Out of all of us, only Karara, Takamaru, and Shoma wear something green on them. But Karara's tomato mask isn't made of cloth, so this scrap can be hers. The shade of green on Takamaru's jacket is less vibrant than scrap too. Shoma, turn around.
Why?
Just do it!
I just checked. Part of Shoma's backpack has been torn. It could have been torn when he was stabbed, to be fair. The torn part perfectly matches this cloth scrap. Indeed, I too witnessed it and have concluded they are a perfect match.
You couldn't have passed through that narrow bend of the shaft while still wearing your backpack. But you couldn't leave it in the shaft either. So you tied the shoulder straps to your feet and pulled it along as you climbed up. That's how the backpack got caught on a sharp edge protruding out of the inner wall of the shaft. Cloth strap got torn off because of that.
No, no, no. This is fake evidence planted by the real culprit. Someone's trying to frame me.
If that was the case, why would that someone stab you? That one act would have completely avert all suspicion away from you.
I really like this. I've been waiting. I love Danganronpa. I love this. Even though it's like Danganronpa light.
Now this next part is all just conjecture. Shoma, you were actually intending to kill Ima as well, weren't you? The plan went awry because Kako showed up to the gym alone. So you had no choice but to kill only her. But that made things difficult for you because Ima knew about the storm as well. What's more, he also knew about the ventilation shaft. If he told anybody about the shaft, this would no longer be a locked room case. And if we pursued the case as murder, we would eventually close in on you. So you wanted to kill Ima afterwards. But it was almost dawn by the time you crawled out from the ventilation shaft. That left you with no time to do anything about Ima. So you panicked and started thinking about ways to remove yourself from the suspect list. That's how you end up deciding to kill yourself. You could make everyone think you'd been mutilated by the culprit. We would never have even dreamed of suspecting you.
You're being ridiculous. This is way too bold of a plan for someone like me.
Who would dare kill themselves just to make it seem like they were innocent? What's the point of being seen as innocent if you're dead?
Of course. Actually dying was never part of your plan.
In fact, you were absolutely confident you wouldn't die because we have the revival matic in the infirmary. But for that to work, you had to die in a way that allowed us to find your dead body quickly. After all, we wouldn't be able to revive you if too much time had passed. That's why you screamed, right? Right after the morning announcement so everyone could hear you. Then you stabbed yourself all over and temporarily ended your own life.
I can't believe I'm listening to this. Please be realistic. No one in their right mind would willingly stab themselves that many times.
It just doesn't make any sense. We're not talking about cutting your wrists or slitting your throat here. Stabbing your own body over and over again like that? You'd be in too much pain to physically continue after a while. It's just not...
No, that's wrong! No, it
is
is
possible.
If you injected yourself with a powerful anesthetic like Gamifiel. Remember what Yugamu said? That the proper dilution of this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing loss of consciousness. Yep, and I still stand by that.
It does make sense. So you're trying to say that you said drug to do the deed, right? Then where would I even find a drug like that?
You probably stole it from somewhere.
Stole it from where? You can't just gloss over the details like that. Tell me, where I could have gotten that drug from.
We're doing it, chat!
From the biolab.
That room is unlocked and everyone has access to the shelves. Getting the drug from there wouldn't have been a problem for you.
Get rid carded! I wonder if you can phrase it else to make everyone believe they did it. I wonder. If this was V3, you would. Alright. Assuming I did inject myself with an anesthetic.
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me at the back of the building, was there anything like that on me? There wasn't, right?
I actually don't know the answer to this.
You swallowed the needle.
You've always been a glutton.
Are you insane, Takumi?
Wait. What did I get wrong? Give me a minute. I need to rethink this.
What are you trying to do here?
No! Oh my god, you're
How
fucking
did I get rid
him.
of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me at the back of the building,
Did he?
was there
Is the blood
anything like
the
that
clue
on
that
me?
he moved away?
There wasn't, right?
I guess
You
so.
must have tossed it somewhere far away when you were done with it.
What about the knife? Where did the knife I used to stab myself disappear to?
You tossed that far away as well. Just like you did with the syringe.
Did anyone find any of those things in the scene?
No. But nobody searched the area nearby on day 27. The day of the incident. You could have collected those items the next day on day 28 after you woke up.
But still, you're just guessing at this point. You've got no real proof. No proof they threw the knife away for stabbing myself.
I do have proof. It's not with me right now, but I did find something. It was something some 30 feet away from where we found you.
What was it? What did you find?
I saw bloodstains.
Oh my
Just
god,
over the
you
patch
fit it onto
on the
Takumi!
corner of a rock.
That is incredible, Max. That is incredible. And on to Nate. I always win.
In a place where blood from your injuries couldn't have reached. Those stains prove the bloody knife had been thrown over there.
It's enough already! It doesn't matter what you're trying to say because you don't have solid proof!
The green cloth was the only piece of substantial evidence you managed to produce. Anyone could have left that behind to frame me. All it proves is that I could have committed this crime.
I don't know what to do at the last point there.
It's time you stopped playing dumb, Shoma.
I do actually have another piece of conclusive evidence.
What?
The bottle of TTX Kako's holding. Your fingerprints were on it.
That can't be.
Thank you.
It can't be. It just can't.
I never thought Shoma would commit a murder.
My fingerprints can't be on that bottle. I was wearing gloves when I...
You fell for it.
Hell yeah.
No. That was just a slip of the tongue. I mean... It was just... Anyway, I'm not...
Give it up, Shoma.
You laugh, but that happens to like every
I'll say
Danganronpa
it
case. Especially in
The person
V3.
who killed Kako by making her drink TTX. It was none other than you! Shoma Genzake!
Who'd have thought Shoma was capable? I still don't know how. And even more that, I don't know why. This really is Danganronpa V4, literally.
Takumi, you got a few things wrong, but for the most part, you were correct. It was me. I killed Kako.
Ah!
Back off, Ema, you promised. So which parts did I get wrong?
The entire premise to begin with. I did not kill her of my own volition. I was ordered to by a certain someone. Let's call this person X for now.
Stop trying to make excuses for yourself.
I'm telling the truth, please believe me.
Tell us more about this order you received.
Just before dawn on day 26, I woke up to someone tapping my cheek. When I opened my eyes, X was there right in front of me.
You unlocked the door?
I did! I think X was already hiding the night before I came in. Under the bed or something.
Just like Aito did. What did X say?
X said...
I killed Gaku and intend to make you my next target.
This is terrifying.
I'll let you off if you follow my instructions. If you go against me or tell the others about my existence, I'll blow up the bomb inside your body immediately.
The sponsor the same voice? Well, yeah, that's because that's the voice changer. Okay, chat. Some of you, mainly Derpa, may not like this theory. But you know who has experience dealing with bombs inside of people's bodies in this route? The same person who has a quote-unquote tracker inside of Ema. And now this person is talking about a bomb inside of someone. Yeah. I think this is Tsubasa.
Yes. The bomb planted in all of your bodies by that robot known as CLA.
Right. theory bombs. And remember, Tsubasa checked where the tracker was from the war room. Not from her lab, not from her bedroom, from the war room. If it was Series bombs.
Just who was the next person? I don't know. They were wearing a long black poncho. They wore a mask over their face using a voice changer to hide their own voice.
Also, Tsubasa was the last person seen with the voice changer. What was she doing on day 3? I don't know. Day 3, she was, what was day 3? So day 3 was right before the blackboard. I don't know. Yeah, and Tsubasa one who found the voice changer.
That sounds like the fake stabber you made up to fool us. I mean, it's true. I was stabbed by a person that description. That person definitely exists.
What happened after that?
I followed X's instructions. I didn't want to be killed the way Gaku had been. X came up with the entire plan. They told me about the ladder shaft, escape on hanger, ventilation shaft. The tetrodotoxin, it was X to obtain the ball in TDX2. After that, we asked Kaku to be using the script X had prepared.
What did the script say?
To speak to her in the afternoon of day 26.
She also made the whole safe mention first. Yeah. Didn't Tsubasa and later now? No, that was Takamaru who found it. Takamaru found it while me, Hiroko, and Takamaru were looking.
Kako, I know about the story with the escape pod too. I did some research in the library and found a way to open the cockpit and launch the pod into space. So would you like to escape from this academy together with me and Ima? If so, come with Ima to the gym tonight at 2. The plan was to kill not just Kako but Ima as well. Because they were the only other people who knew about the storeroom. Killing them both at the same time in a locked room would make their death seem like suicide. And only Kako showed up in the gym at the specified time, 2 AM.
Why?
Kako said this.
I haven't told my dear brother what you told me yet. First, I need to verify if your information is authentic or not. If it's true, then we still have tomorrow. But keep it a secret from my dear brother, alright? I want to surprise him.
He hesitated to execute the plan because she showed up alone. Next also told me.
If you chicken out and do nothing, I'll still blow you up.
So I passed Kako a water bottle mixed with the TTX. Takumi more or less covered what happened after that until I returned to the school building. Because then I don't foresee my back would get torn along the way. After returning to the first floor of the school building, I was at a loss because I didn't know what I was supposed to do about Ima. It was gonna be difficult to kill him because the sun had already risen by then. So he disappeared again.
Ima probably knows about the ventilation shaft. If he spills the beans, they'll all know Kako didn't die in a locked room. They'll start investigating the case as a murder instead of assuming it was a suicide. The morning announcement will be playing soon. You won't make it back to the roof in time. Somebody will realize you were out and about before dawn. But rest assured, for if you do as I say, you'll never even make it to the suspect list.
That's why you went to the back of the building and... Yeah, I mean, left with no other choice. But I was hesitant right up until the moment I injected myself in the gamma field. Once I did that, it was as if my sense of fear completely evaporated. Oh, X gave me the gamma fuel as well, along with the knife and syringe. I'm pretty sure X was me want to collect the knife and syringe that I dropped after I did the deed. I was like, no, I definitely didn't retrieve them.
His story thus told, Shoma slumped his shoulder and bowed his head deeply. The silence that followed stretched on until Hiroko finally spoke up.
I just have one last question, Shoma. Do the words back or heart ring any bells?
Back or heart? No, I have no idea.
Thank you. Your reaction was the answer I needed. I guess that's that, Kumi.
Yeah, Hex must have done it if Shoma wasn't involved in that particular affair. Everybody was looking at us in confusion. Probably because no one knew that someone had stolen the hearts from the dead bodies.
Hi, Dark Shadow. You missed your hit that.
Then Shoma started trembling like a leaf, as if he suddenly remembered something.
Oh no, Max and I'm gone, boy. I told you about X. The bomb inside me is gonna blow up now. Nothing's happening.
Did this X-person lie to you?
I think they must have. An amateur can't possibly make a detonate for the bomb in our bodies. Why is that petting the words? Anyway, hello. I don't know. It's your hand. How are you doing, Dark? Only someone with my level of skill and experience.
So, Mr. Gonzaki won't be executed. Then I'll do it myself. I'll kill you till you limb from limb.
Ima let out a guttural roar and charged towards Shoma so quickly, nobody had time to react. He shoved Shoma to the ground, clambered on top of him, and started strangling him so hard it almost seemed like he might rip his head off.
Go to hell!
I think you stop him.
Ima, no!
I ran over in a panic and pulled Ima off. Shoma had fainted and was frothing at his mouth. Yugamu darted over and conducted a quick check.
He's fine. Just passed out.
Damn it! Damn it!
Aww.
Dear sister! My dear sister! My dear sister!
After that heartbreaking outburst, Ima simply collapsed on the spot. Nozomi and Tsubasa rushed over and started comforting him. Everyone else was at a loss, simply staring quietly at Ima as they stood rooted to the spot.
What the hell? Hi, Ruru. That was an incredibly cursed stare you just threw at me.
The sound of Ima's painted wails echoed coldly and endlessly through the walls of the building.
How? You guys are crazy. Can't blame me for what he did.
We moved the unconscious Shoma into the cage in the courtyard and made sure it was properly locked. Once that was done, I shoved the key deep inside my pocket.
This trick like amazing yours? Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
Everybody returned to their rooms without saying another word. I soon found myself completely alone. Looking up in the night sky, I thought about what had happened. Kako's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over.
Have you fixed your blue screen issues? I think so. Well, at the very least, it has not blue screened in the last 2 streams and this stream. But like, I'm still getting
an era when I run Prime 95. So it might not be solved. When are you gonna look the next color? Next color of what?
Kako's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over. Someone out there had killed Gaku and instructed Shoma to kill Kako. This was likely the same person who'd been stealing hearts from the bodies in the morgue.
Oh, from the blue screen. Oh, Ruru.
X, the real mastermind behind this entire string of events. I had to find out who this person was by hook or by crook. And I would, no matter what I did. I clenched my fist tightly. I would let nothing shake me from this firm resolve.
This is such an... Chat. I'm so engaged in this route. Lena Max.
Guys! Wake up! Something's happened!
Someone killed him in the cage, didn't they? I tried out ring for this morning though, and from the 5 minutes I did, it was so fun. Nice. He's dead in his cage. Mission is who? I still think it's Tsubasa because the only evidence we have as of now is that somebody knew about the underground and Tsubasa had a tracker inside Ima, which she could have seen that he went underground and reverse engineered how he got there. The thing is, I don't know why she would. That's always the biggest problem. I don't know why anyone on the team would. And I don't know how anyone who's an enemy could. And we don't know what's up with the hearts. That doesn't make sense. Any way I look at it. These is because Zima killed him. Yeah.
Upon hearing that loud cry, I dashed out of my room.
What happened?
What's going on?
I was up early, so when did you go and Shoma and... Shoma, he...
What happened to him?
Just come with me, quickly!
We all knew where we were going. Everybody made a mad dash for the courtyard together. We ran through the second floor hallway and burst into the courtyard, then ran toward the cage without stopping. Here we saw.
Unless people have gay from other timelines in them as well. So... maybe. But why would... Even then, it leads to the question of why would they get Shoma to do it instead of doing it themselves? And neither of the Gi we've dealt with before have involved removing hearts from people.
Shoma!
Kyoshika grabbed the gate and tried to open it.
It is still locked and will not budge.
Doesn't Takumi have the key?
Hold on, I'll unlock it now.
I dug the key out of my pocket and slotted it into the keyhole. Once the gate was unlocked, I opened it and went inside.
We have the key. That puts it back to us. Huh.
I immediately ran to Shoma and touched his neck, checking for a pulse. At that moment, something felt a little off.
Sweat.
What?
I touched his clothes and they were wet as well.
Well, is he alive or not?
I already checked that. As you can clearly see, he's already...
Maybe we can still revive him if we bring him to the infirmary like last time.
Since I touched the body, I knew already that too much time had passed. But I decided to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, we should try that.
Well, let's get to music, yeah, but that still doesn't... It still doesn't really, like, explain all the other things. Still, functioning between 2 and 5, that's just like the other Gi timeline.
Cause of death, hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 51, between 2 and 5 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. The murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body, impossible to revive. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room became heavier. How's going on? How'd the killer get a Shoma when the cage was locked?
Takumi, did you lock the door last night?
Yeah, I did. So nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was sleeping.
And I know I'm repeating myself, but that key is unique. It cannot be copied.
Well, that narrows down the list of possible suspects to just Takumi, right?
Don't you ever get tired of mindlessly repeating the same thing?
Hey! Might we ever look at the other possibility? Might he stabbed himself like before?
This time, in a way that would be impossible for us to revive him.
I can't think of every reason he might have dead in a cage in the middle of the night.
Well then, who supplied him with the knife? It has to be X, right? Did any of the commanders have an X in their name? Vishnes does. Quinzel did not. Because there is a commander who's able to sneak in. Like, who's able to walk in and the alarm doesn't go off for him. Hi, I like trains. How are you?
If it was X, they would have passed some gamma fuel in a syringe.
Yeah, ain't no one strong enough to keep mutilating yourself like that without being drugged the hell out of their mind.
Her gonna what? What was his name again? If it was invaders, they would just kill them all at that point. Unless they're trying to, like, you know, torture us for some reason. Bullshit.
He could have used one of the bottles that had been stolen previously.
We moved Shoma's remains to the morgue. There were now 4 bodies lying on tables there. At Ima's request, we made sure that Kako and Shoma's bodies were not placed next to each other. Ima walked to Shoma's dead body and stared at it for a long time. Then he said,
You got what you deserved.
After that, we investigated the courtyard together. Despite combing over every inch of the area, we found no trace of a knife or syringe.
Wait, are they not going to talk about how he was wet? How his clothes were wet. Like, there's water in the courtyard. But I don't know how they would relate. There's a roof above this place, so it can't have been like rain or something. Eva uses mist when she attacks. That could make him wet. I don't know why she would though. Huh.
Despite combing over every inch of the area, we found no trace of a knife or syringe. The only thing we found was a balloon. It was lying on the floor near Shoma's cage. Although I couldn't immediately figure it out if it was related to the case, I decided to stuff it in my pocket just in case.
Huh. Okay. What was in the balloon? The clothes were wet. Doesn't mean it's water. But like, what else could you put in a balloon? How would that help? Unless the balloon made him wake up and then he walked over to the side of the cage. But even then, why would it need to be a water balloon? 100 questions, no answers academy, basically.
Soon the last rays of sunlight disappeared into the horizon, and the darkness of night took over. It was already way past dinner time. Seeing that none of us had an appetite after all that, we skipped the cafeteria and gathered in the rec room instead.
This makes it 3 people have lost their lives because of X. We don't know for sure if X has anything to show Shoma's case yet.
Of course they did. We'd all be in serious trouble if it wasn't X. Because that would mean there are 2 clans of Excaliburs running around free. So, what do you think X might be?
Everyone fell silent. This was the question I was dreading the most. And it seems like the others felt the same. Ever since Shoma shared his side of the story last night, we'd all been avoiding that particular issue. But it was time to face reality. I steeled myself and turned to Tsubasa. Tsubasa, do you still have the organic life detection device?
Yes.
Oh.
12. The exact same as the people that are present here.
Oh.
That means...
Somebody among us is X.
No, wait. It could have been someone who came in at midnight and left the school just before the sun came up. Sadly, that's not possible. This device comes with a history log. At 4 AM last night, the number changed from 13 to 12 and stayed there. Uh-huh. So Sir Shoma was murdered at 4 AM last night. Yeah?
Miss Magadori, we are discussing something more important here. The number reduced by 1 when Shoma lost his life. But after that, it neither went up or down. Proving that nobody came into the school or left it, right?
Yes.
Thing is, we're all screwed if we don't do something. X tried to kill us all in that message and they're doing just that. The more if we put off this off, the more people will be dropping dead one by one.
Well, I agree with the part about doing something at least.
Hey, Takumi, you're the leader. Come up with something.
Maybe... How about we make it closer to move around in groups of at least 3 during the day?
Didn't somebody mention that before that 3's our rescue number?
That was because your 2 other teammates could be working together. But this situation has changed. According to Shoma, X is just 1 person.
That's right, so as a group of 3 it should be fine.
What about at night?
Feels like that's the main thing. So far, all of them were taken out at night. Then we should...
I definitely think it's us right now. Takumi feels most relevant, but I don't know why or how. Apart from saying gay. Phew. Done and done. Are we all gonna be sweet here from now on?
How bland and boring. Getting evacuation center vibes here.
Would you prefer bland and boring or dead in a ditch?
We've used current to divide the area into rooms, though everybody will have some semblance of privacy. Is this really gonna work? What if the killer strikes when we're all sleeping? In fact, that's why we have waited to sleep on spawn until now, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of having a sentry system.
Flash off, flashback. I was just thinking the exact same thing.
3 people be on watch at all times. We'll also rotate 1 person out every hour.
And if anything happens, just shout. That's reassuring. Now I can get a good night's sleep. My skin will thank me.
Looks like we're agreed then.
This arrangement should stop X from causing further harm. We should be safe for a while. Now we just had to continue our investigation, expose X's identity before they tried anything else. There was just one other thing that was bothering me. Shoma was killed today. I saw his body with my own eyes, which meant...
Which me... Huh? Did I... 23-day time skip. Yeah, this rat's going kind of fast.
I woke up at the sound of the morning announcement. The first thought to cross my mind at the time was, not again, along with the sense of resignation. Looking up at the unfamiliar ceiling, it took me a few seconds to realize I was in the gym. I stood up from my makeshift bed, pulled open the curtain divider, and stepped outside.
Takumi. He awakens.
I ain't want to sweat the small stuff. You gave us a real scare this time.
You were out for 23 whole days.
Is that a new record?
Oh, for the love of moto.
I turned slowly to look at everyone, then said, everyone's safe.
It's your last words.
My last words?
Rest in moving groups during the day and sleep together at night. Remember? Those were the instructions you gave on day 51. We've been able to survive all this time because of them.
X hasn't had an opportunity to strike.
That also means X is still...
Yes, we still don't know who they are. If we did, we would have thrown them into a cage and tossed away the key already.
Now that I got a better look at them, I saw signs of fatigue on everyone's faces. X is among us. I'll be killed if I walk around with only one other person. They've all had to spend the last 23 days under the crushing weight of such thoughts. It's no wonder their mental fatigue was starting to show physically.
Oh, right. There's something you need to know.
What is it?
About 10 days ago, we met the boy with undying flames.
He showed himself?
Yeah.
Well, he was feeling very unwell, but said he just had to tell us something. I forgot about his prophecy! About something for the future! Corrupting this time. Oh, that really does make it... That was a massive piece of evidence for the gay theory.
Huh? And what was that?
I recently found out there's something called a distress signal transmitter somewhere in the school. It was put here in the event of all but one of Team 1 dying. Only Team 1 though, because the two teams joined together had not been anticipated. The people in the satellite did not think Team 2 would ever come here. At any rate, no matter how strong they were, a single fighter wouldn't be able to win this war on their own. Instead, that survivor would be extracted and put on standby, while the people in charge put together a fresh team for a new attempt. Once the correct series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would, well, transmit a distress signal. Once the artificial satellite received it, they'd send a rescue craft to the school. The survivor would get on board and be taken back to the satellite. That's supposed to be the sequence of events. Also, the rescue craft does not have a capacity restriction. That means people from both teams 1 and 2 can board it with no issues. The second to last academy does not have a transmitter of its own. Bringing the team here was definitely the right move. Unfortunately, I do not know where that transmitter is located. Still, it seems to me like this information could be of some use to you. This is why I came here to tell you about it.
But why is that relevant?
A distress signal transmitter. I've never seen or heard of such a thing before. Damir.
After hearing that, we split into groups to search for the transmitter, but...
We still haven't found it.
It doesn't matter. We'd have to put the transmitter on the back burner for now. Finding the identity of X was our top priority. X was most likely the one to kill Shoma. Or they could have ordered someone else to do it, like they did for Kako. At any rate, X was absolutely involved in Shoma's murder. As long as we could figure out who had killed Shoma, we'd find out who X is. Alright. I clench my fist tightly. Hiroko, Tsubasa, come with me.
Oh, what?
Where?
To the courtyard. I'm going to reinvestigate the scene of Shoma's murder.
Very well.
I don't mind, but...
What's that?
Can we have breakfast first? I'm starving.
And thus, Hiroko, Tsubasa, and I went to the courtyard together after having breakfast.
Why did you ask us to come along?
I can't go against my own last words now, can I?
The part about moving together in groups during the day?
Oh. But why choose us?
No reason in particular. I just felt like it.
I'll like it.
One of us could very well be X.
Then it'll be a 2-on-1 fight.
What if X tries to destroy evidence during this investigation?
I'm not worried. They would have already done that while I was unconscious if it was that important.
Yes, that is true.
Then what are you investigating?
One question before I answer that. Nobody had an alibi for 4 a.m. on day 51, right? When Shoma was killed?
Yes, we were all sleeping in our rooms. Well, Ava was in Aito's room actually, but you know what I mean.
What about the murder weapon or any other clues?
So far we haven't found anything.
In that case... The fastest way to identify X is to see who could have possibly killed Shoma under those circumstances. The killer likely used a special method to kill Shoma while he was locked in a cage. Figuring out what that method was could break this case wide open. Who could have done that was thus the best line of investigation to pursue.
How exactly are we gonna do that?
This place is so big that we have no idea where to even start. We'd need some sort of clue first. Takumi is being smart this route. Sus. Yeah. Damn, they preferred that for German boy. He's Japanese, but... Hi, Amy.
Here is a clue. Shoma's body was wet when we first found it, remember? I think figuring out why may very well be the key to solving this case. I walked over the courtyard fountain. And there was a valve with a handle on the side. Probably for adjusting the amount of water being spouted. I opened it completely and then... A frightening amount of water gushed out all at once, making the fountain look like an erupting geyser or open dam. A giant column of water shot up in the sky and came down again like a downpour of rain. I quickly turned the handle to close the valve. Soon the water slowed considerably and went back to its normal flow. Phew, that was close.
What exactly were you trying to do? I'm glad I was sitting over here. I'd be all wet by now if I'd been any closer.
Next, I checked the central drain. It was more like a tunnel than a drain. The water flowed deep into that tunnel. There was a large handle here as well. I turned the handle and a wall came down from the top of the tunnel, completely sealing up the drain. After checking, I returned the handle to its original position.
How do we know this? Hi, Mongers! How do we know this?
I briefly saw Hiroko and Tsubasa staring at me in confusion and I proceeded to my next destination. The cage where Shoma had been held.
We already checked every last inch of the cage. There are no hidden tunnels underneath, and the bars are as strong as can be. No scratches on the lock either. And no trace of anything had been tampered with. The hinges of the gate were also untouched. Came to him in a dream while he was unconscious? Yeah, maybe.
As I was listening to them, my eyes wandered to the top of the cage. Officially, this cage is an animal pen. I think it was supposed to be modeled after a bird cage or something. You see that ring suspended from the top there?
Yes, what about it?
I didn't answer, instead lowering my glance to the bottom of the cage where something caught my eye. This cage isn't secured to the floor. The bottomless cage placed on top of a base.
But the cage is impossible to move manually. It literally weighs a ton.
How do you know that?
There was a blueprint of the courtyard on the war room's computer that has some information about it. Tsubasa now knows some info. Or he's like Hiroko in the slash track, he's remembering things? Maybe. Either way, we're getting a surprising lack of information into Takumi's thoughts right now.
I see, so it weighs 1 ton.
Hey, that reminds me. Did you know the courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space development research?
Biotope?
I'll try to keep the explanation as brief as possible. It's said that before World Death, Earth was full of different kinds of terrain, like arid regions and rainforests. And each of these regions would have like living things unique to that area, including the plants, microorganisms, vertebrates. For research purposes, this place had originally been created as a perfect replica of the ecosystems those creatures had been living in. That's why there are blasts of hot air to simulate a desert environment. It can also withstand atmospheric pressure up many times Earth's range.
But wouldn't the amount of pressure cause the windows to break?
What are you talking about? Those things over there aren't windows. They're all display screens, including the ceiling. Look carefully and you'll see the light flicker every once in a while. There's no way the sky can be visible from here. We're inside this school after all. Yeah, we all knew that, right, chat? That's like so obvious. Obviously, we all knew that.
You may be right. But what about the exits on both sides connected to the hallways? Atmospheric pressure can escape from those exits when it gets too high, right?
Oh. Those places were closed in the beginning, covered by partition walls. Don't you remember?
Oh right, they opened up after Sari released them.
In other words, as long as the walls on those exit and drains are down, the courtyard is a completely sealed space. You didn't know that? You always complain how come she's the loudest? No, you?
A completely sealed space.
Are you done here? Shall we return to the gym?
Not yet. There's one more thing. This.
A balloon?
Oh.
The one we found during our investigation on day 51.
Why do you think it was found so close to the cage?
I have no idea. I can hardly imagine it being someone's personal belonging. The more likely possibility is that somebody made it using the Gift-O-Matic.
Gift-O-Matic? We'll definitely be able to find a clue if we go there. We made our way to the rec room. Investigating the Gift-O-Matic resulted in a few discoveries.
Would the killer even know this? I think that's important.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the killer, rather, X knew about the secret launch site. The only person I know of who would know this stuff is Tsubasa. Because she has admitted to looking up information in the war room. So, in summary, the official name of this is the Sturdy Rubber Balloon. It was made using a very durable material. The description of the box mentions it doesn't break easily.
The balloon has a capacity of 10 liters, which should be quite big when blown up.
According to the history logs, it's been crafted a total of 100 times. Who needs that many balloons and what for? Lifting the cage. What, like they slipped the water balloons under the cage. Use the water pressure to pump them full of water? Maybe. Unfortunately, we won't be able to find out who crafted them. That data and only that data has been erased.
After reviewing our findings, I put the balloon back in my pocket. Tsubasa, is there a tire pump in the parking lot?
Yeah, an electric air compressor.
Is it portable?
Of course it is. It has caster wheels attached to it. Anybody can move it anywhere. But why do you ask?
Sorry, let me gather my thoughts first. I'll explain it all to everyone once I have a clearer picture of how the events unfolded.
A clearer picture. And when will that happen?
Probably by 7 p.m. tonight. We returned to the gym together where I immediately started sorting out my thoughts. The day flew by as I did, and soon it was night. The time I'd asked everybody to meet me had arrived. It was exactly 7 p.m. when I quietly said to everyone, "Hey guys, can we all move to the courtyard? I have something important to discuss."
Hey chat, I need to be right back because I feel like we're going to get into the big stuff while I'm gone. The first person to type 3 different emojis is in charge. They can't be Twitch emotes. They have to be emojis. Be right back.
Why was it Yum Yum Hearts? But yeah, no, Bizza was the only one who followed the command correctly. Jason did 3 emotes. I said emojis, not emotes. Dark Shadow did, I don't know what you'd call it. Text art. But it was not emojis. So yeah, Bizza was in charge. Aito approves. Peace and love.
Hey guys, can we all move to the courtyard? I have something important to discuss. Now, this is an emote, this is an emoji, this is a colon deface. Completely different things.
What is this important thing we have to come all the way here to discuss?
Well, you see, I turned my gaze upward and then slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Shoma.
Man, they really like doing that on this route, don't they? Who did it?
First, we must answer the how did the killer stab Shoma while he was inside a locked cage. Once we can figure that out, the identity of the killer becomes apparent. Because only that person could have done all that under those circumstances. Let's cut to the chase. Tell us who the killer is already.
All right. I'll tell you. The person who killed Shoma, it was. The name of that person is...
God, he really hypes it up. Okay, I'm a lot less certain on this. But I do think it's Tsubasa. Let's see if I'm right.
The real killer is... you, Tsubasa Kawana!
Wait a minute. Are you out of your mind? How's it even possible?
Very well, allow me to explain. What you did was, you know, it's all very simple. You were... This guy's singing his high heavens.
Of course he is. He's X after all. Hey, now I'm thinking about it. Nobody gets attacked whenever he was unconscious, right? Maybe he's trying to frame something else to make the rest of us let our guard down.
After that, he'll tell us there is no need to travel in groups or sleep together anymore, and then commit his next crime.
So he brought this matter up in a futile attempt to shift suspicion away from him.
It does make sense. Yes, it does indeed.
Only one after another, the others started voicing their agreement. I found myself unable to offer anything in rebuttal.
You leave us with no choice but to lock you up.
Wait, this is a mistake. I was just... In the end, I was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that? I couldn't remember. But it was too late for regrets. I had no strength left to even sigh. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me.
Your consciousness fled from you.
I had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage had been unlocked. Unsure of what that meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside. Only to notice that somebody was lying in the cage next to mine. I ran over to see who it was.
Ava.
I didn't even need to check. She was clearly already gone. The cage was unlocked. I went inside and touched her arm. It was deathly cold. She'd been dead for at least a few hours.
What's going on here?
I stamped down my disquieting thoughts and quickly started searching for the others. My next destination was a library. As soon as I entered, I saw
Yoshika!
This is new art.
I checked her body. She wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how cold she felt, it seemed like she died a few hours ago as well.
She wasn't bloody though.
Thinking anyone else might be in their rooms, I proceeded to the roof. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Still convinced there had to be somebody around, I opened every single door to check. Takamaru's room, Hiroko's room, Doreen's room. Their rooms were completely empty, abandoned. Kararu's room was next. I went inside, my glance fell on her bed. Lying there was...
No! Kurata too!
That is also new art.
I checked her body like Abe and Kiyoshika. She was cold to the touch.
No, wait. Maybe...
Clinging to a ray of hope, I decided to move Kararu's body to the infirmary. But... too much time has passed since death. Impossible to revive was all the monitor would display. I had a really bad feeling about this whole thing. Dark despondency pulled and congealed in the pit of my stomach. But it's fine. It's going to be fine. That's what I kept telling myself as I continued searching. I checked every room on the second and third floors, and then any other rooms I had yet checked, I didn't find anyone. Finally, I reached the first room. Upon stepping inside in the mysterious room with no name, I saw...
Yugamu.
There was no need to even check on his body. I could feel an eerie chill crawling underneath my skin and spreading to the rest of my body. The last place I visited was the garage. I pushed the door open and cautiously stepped inside. And then... When I finally registered the scene before me, I thought I could hear the sound of my heart breaking apart. I felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. I simply turned over the bodies menacingly and emotionally. Mechanically and emotionlessly. Takamaru, Ime, Darumi, and Tsubasa's hearts had been removed through their backs. Acting on a hunch, I peered underneath Hiroko's clothing to check her back as well. There was a large empty cavity there as well, just as I'd suspected. But I was no longer capable of reasoning this through. My mental facilities had been taken over by a thick impenetrable fog. Stepping outside, I wandered around aimlessly for a while before coming to a stop in the schoolyard. I stood rooted to the spot in a daze for quite some time. Then a passing soundless breeze flew past. As I took in the breeze, a slight sense of suspicion flashed through the back of my mind. How many dead bodies have I found?
Yeah, we're missing. We found... What, we found 8? We're the 9th. I think there should be 2 bodies left.
One, 2, 3, 4, 9. I was put in the prison cell on day 75. How many survivors were there at that time?
Where's Nozomi and Moko?
Including myself, there were 12. Which meant... But that suspicion was quickly dispelled from my mind when the remaining 2 suspects appeared before me.
We fought so hard in the defensive battles. Everyone gave their all. We even beat Vishnas. And yet... This was what we woke up to.
Takumi. You killed them all, right?
What?
We're the last 3 still alive. No one else but you could have done it.
The accusation jolted my mind into action. I started to defend myself desperately.
No, it wasn't me. I went through the same ordeal too. My cage was unlocked when I woke up and I walked out to almost everybody dead.
You really think we'll believe you after what you've already done?
Who else could have done this, huh? Tell us!
Moko was right. The three of us were the only ones still alive. It stood to reason that one of us had to be the killer.
Come on, we're waiting! Who killed everybody if not you?
It was...
Three options! Honestly, it could have been us. Okay. Let me just check something. So a ton is 900 kgs. Chad, do we think Moko's strong enough to lift a ton? Wait, sorry, that's a US ton. Why is a US ton different to a regular ton? What the hell does that mean? Why does a US ton shop first? Probably they spelled ton. Anyway, regardless, I think it's us, right? We will vacation in 5 days. I don't know. I don't know.
I think I probably just didn't remember it.
Because there's no way either one of you could have done all that. That means you must be right. It was me. I must have killed everybody somehow without being conscious of it. I slumped my shoulders and hugged my head weakly. Immediately after,
Oh,
I knew it.
as Moko said that, she reached behind her and took out a large butcher knife. The next thing I knew, I was staring at my kneeled body, arms drooping lifelessly on both sides. Huh? How was I able to see my own body from this angle? That was the last thought that ran through my mind before I blacked out completely.
Holy shit. So it's Moko? 96 mystery route terminated. Sumino. I mean, we do 3 of these, right? I told it. Highest one we got, yeah, highest numbered. You can do exclamation point endings to see what we have. Is it possible to go back to when 2 passwords chosen? Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll leave Moko till last. Man, this is crazy.
I'm sorry, Nozomi, but you're the only one who could have done this.
How? How could you even say such a thing? It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. Oh, forget it. I don't care anymore. Everyone died like that. So I...
She suddenly screamed at the top of her lungs and ran off towards the wall of fire.
Wait! Nozomi!
I quickly followed her. Before long, we reached the wall of fire. Nozomi did not slow down. She continued running at full speed right into the wall of fire.
No!
This wasn't what I wanted. All because I made that accusation. Because of me, Nozomi. No, wait. It's gonna be fine. I may still be able to make it. I'll save Nozomi, drag her out of those flames, and... My body was already moving before I could finish the thought. I launched myself into the fiery flames. The very next moment, I was vaporized in an instant. My consciousness ceased just as quickly as my body was reduced to ashes.
$95. A kind heart. Well done, you're making puns. Weird behavior. This is implying maybe it's her. I don't think it is. I think she's just can't be bothered fighting anymore. Yeah, she went crazy. I guess. She collapsed from the trauma, yeah. Now for the real question. Not who, but why? That's out of character. True. It's out of character. Characters are being considered in this.
Moko Mochiro!
You killed everybody! It had to have been you! There's no mistake about it!
No. 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 No, 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 no!
Moko charged at me deliriously while brandishing a massive butcher knife. I instinctively grabbed her wrist and snatched the butcher knife away and... slashed her neck. I watched in horror as Moko collapsed to the ground. I killed her. I hadn't intended to, but it just happened. My knees were knocking against each other. My strength gave out and the butcher knife fell to the ground. Immediately after...
Moko! Moko!
And Zoe screamed at the top of her lungs and dashed over. The knife that had fallen from my hand was lying at my feet. She quickly picked it up and swung it wildly.
Nozomi, why?
Nozomi was standing in front of me with an astonished look on her deathly pale face. I stared absently at her until my consciousness faded into nothingness.
Okay, I definitely think the first one of the three we got was the best. Knife for revenge for Moko. Since I got an ending, do we know what this route is now, by the way? The mystery route. Okay, because I guess we're solving a mystery. Hi, GT. Okay, so chat. Wait. Oh, there's three options here. Takumi, Ava, or other. Why would it be Ava? Dark Shadow, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Bunny Brigade. Glad to be here. Game spoiling you? Yeah. I was looking for this. Let's get the other bad ending, I guess. See if Rilla's game and terrified now. Ugh, sorry. I did not even move there. Okay, other bad ending. If you want to see more of the game, my entire Let's Play's up on YouTube. Including this. But not when you're watching it, but when the YouTube people are watching it.
The real killer is you, Takamaru Yakushiji. What the hell you talking about, shit stain? I'm gonna rearrange your face right now.
That's not possible, Takumi. Remember we saw in the drone footage together? The bends and ventilation shaft are too narrow for someone Takamaru's size to go through.
Guessing you're the killer, Takumi. 'Cause if you can frame someone else and when it starts relaxing, that makes it easier for you to keep killing.
That makes sense.
You may be right.
Oh, I wonder if this means every single character has different dialogue if you pick them.
One after another, I found my others voicing their agreement, and I found myself unable to offer any rebuttal.
You leave us with no choice but to lock you up.
Wait, this is a mistake. I was just...
What? I don't get your message, GT. The argument for the sides of Alpha Takumi too? What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
In the end, I was detained by others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that? I couldn't remember. But it was too late for regrets. I had no strength left to even sigh. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me.
Are we gonna wake up on day 100 and it's gonna lead to the other ending? No!
I had no idea how long I was unconscious for. When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage had been unlocked. Sure what that meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Wondering where everyone had gone, I decided to walk around the cabins and search for them. I went to the garage on the ground floor first. I opened the door and I stepped inside, where I found...
Darumi.
Huh! It's different!
I hadn't even needed to check. She was clearly already gone. I went closer and touched her arm anyway. It was scaly and dry to the touch. It had been quite a while since she passed. I checked her back and saw a large gaping hole there. Her heart had been removed through her back.
Why would someone do this?
I put that disturbing thought aside and quickly continued searching for the others. My next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Yoshika!
I checked her body. She wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how cold she felt, I knew she had died a while back as well. I flipped her body around gingerly. Her back was still intact. Her heart hadn't been stolen.
Oh! Why?
I decided to search all the classrooms thoroughly. Then I checked the first floor, second floor, and third floor. I even checked the roof, but there was no body to be found. My last destination was the gym. The moment I opened the door, I could hardly believe my eyes.
What happened here?
I checked everybody's bodies. They were all cold to the touch, just like with Darumi and Kyoshika.
No, wait. Maybe...
Clinging to a ray of hope, I moved everybody to the infirmary. But... Too much time has passed since death, impossible to revive, was all the monitor would display. I thought I heard the sound of my heart breaking when those words flashed across the screen for the 6th time. I felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. I simply turned over their dead bodies mechanically and emotionlessly. Hidoko, Tsubasa, and Ima's hearts had been dug out from their backs. Kurara, Moko, and Yugamu's backs remained intact.
Huh. So they are only taking the hearts of first defense academy, of last defense, not second defense. And yeah, Moko's getting this. Nozomi's alive. So is Shoma. But Shoma maybe escaped?
But I was no longer capable of reasoning this through. My mental facilities had been taken over by a thick impenetrable fog. I left the building and walked around the back. What greeted me there was a familiar sight.
Oh no.
The sight of a dead body that had been divested of its heart. I wondered where my own heart had gone. I could no longer feel it beating, like it had stopped. I felt like that time had stopped, like the world had stopped, everything had stopped.
Actually, chat, do you remember how Kako's dead body had its hemoglobin taken? Nozomi would make a lot of sense there. If she was suffering from her withdrawals and there were dead bodies on the campus she could drain.
But time had not stopped, as proven by the gradual darkening of my surroundings. I wandered around the academy with no purpose until I finally stumbled upon the 10th dead body. To be more precise, the 10th and 11th dead bodies.
Takimaru. Ava.
I checked Takamaru's back. His heart had been taken, ripped out of his body. Ava's back was untouched. No other part of her body had been touched either.
If it's drained the way they become mummies though, maybe she didn't take all of it. Maybe. I don't know.
I stood rooted to the spot in a daze for quite some time. Then a passing soundless breeze blew past. The breeze jolted me to my senses and my gears in my head started turning again. 11! I was put in the cage on day 50. How many survivors were there at the time? Including myself, there were... The very next moment, a great amount of blood suddenly started spurting out from my neck. I understood for the first time in that moment that I was still alive. At the same time, I realized I'd be dead in 2 seconds. But I had no way of telling if that prediction of mine came true or not, because by then my existence had already been erased from the world.
Lost in darkness. Huh. Man, we've had through 4 endings. Wow. Were we missing someone there? Are you crazy? So I assume with the zombie being the only other possible survivor, she got the jump on you there? Yeah. Okay, so we actually split ourselves on this. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Takumi because that's who I was going to go with before I checked. I was going to be like, why does he have all this knowledge? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So that's what I'm going with now.
I don't have any memories of it, but the killer, it could very well have been me.
Hang on, chat. Can all of you do this for me real quick? Just a ... exclamation mark. Thanks, chat. You really helped my immersion. Has to be me, guys, know stuff I shouldn't. I'm not this smart, like terribly wrong. Yeah, like I've been saying all this time, right? But how could you not have any memories?
It's simple. I just don't remember.
Then you cannot be the killer.
But I don't believe any of you here could have done something so cruel. Also, I'm the only one who could have gone inside since the key was with me. There are other reasons too. Nothing happened when I was unconscious, right? That would make sense if I was the culprit. The cause of my fainting disease may have played a part as well. Traces of treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. Fainting disease likely developed as an after effect. If those damaged parts have actually yet to heal properly, I could have gone up subconsciously at night and... did all those things without being aware of it, right? That's why I'm saying it was probably me, maybe.
Then you leave us with no choice but to lock you up in a cell.
Are you okay with that, Takumi?
No.
Huh? You're still trying to put up a fight even after you've confessed?
I wasn't confessing, I was just saying it's a possibility.
But you were so confident, you knew who the killer was.
You're being utterly incoherent.
Anyway, hold him down, everyone.
Okay.
Stop. Stop. Step away from me. I said, stay away. I screamed and started running. You bastard, stop right there. I burst out of the room into the hallway and just kept running. Some time passed. I was finally able to throw off all my pursuers after running around the school haphazardly.
I'll be in danger if I stick around here. I should leave the school for a while and get my head together.
I headed to the entrance hall and grabbed a fire extinguisher before sneaking outside.
So you confess he ran? I know, right? Yeah, I thought for sure he'd be willing to be locked up.
Before long, I arrived at the wall of fire, but somebody had been lying in ambush there. Yugimu.
You are X.
No.
But you basically admitted it just now.
I told you I was just throwing out possibilities.
Save your excuses, now I can finally kill you without regrets.
What?
Have you forgotten that I am an assassin?
Wait, does that mean... Yukimu pulled out a dirk and walked towards me with a smile on his face.
No! Stop!
Huh?
Nozomi! Why?
I saw you, so I ran after you.
Yukamu! How could you do this?
Hey, this wasn't my fault. I was just trying to intimidate you. Killing you had never been
As a
my
reminder,
intention
she
at all.
can't be revived.
Shut up!
I charged at Yukimu with a feral roar and grabbed hold of each other. As we were struggling, we lost our balance and then our bodies careened into the wall of fire at the same time. The very next moment, our bodies vaporized in the blink of an eye. My consciousness ceased just as quickly as my body was reduced to ashes.
This might be the version of Yugumo scream. Yeah. I mean, Yugumo is not a bad guy. He's just weird. Like, he cares for Nozomi, you know? Also, 5 endings in one stream, chat. We're so professional. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm also curious. When does the mystery route begin? Yeah, so we end up on the mystery route instead of the killing game route, I would assume. Huh. How the heck is it Ava? I don't know. Why is it her? Time to find out. I think it's her mask Chekhov's gun and all, maybe. Maybe.
The real killer. You, Ava.
What are you saying, Takumi? I came to the school on day 21. I couldn't have written the first threatening note or killed Gaku. That means I couldn't have been X.
Indeed.
That's a good point.
What?
I didn't say you were X. What I said was you're the person who killed Shoma.
Oh!
I did not. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't
Still,
me.
how?
Shut your mouth and just watch. I'll be exposing every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
So, okay, someone made her do it, but who? I guess since everyone has their detonator, anyone could have forced her? What makes you think I'm the killer?
Before getting to that part, we'll have to explain how the murder even took place to begin with. Shoma's dead body was found in the cage. He'd been stabbed multiple times. That means you'd have to figure out a way to get inside the cage.
But the door was locked. And you're the only one with the key, Takumi.
Yeah, I did have the key. So you couldn't have used it. You used another way to get inside.
Another way?
The key lies in the design of that cage.
The design? What are you talking about?
The bottom part of the cage isn't secured in place.
It's just a heavy iron cage mounted on a base.
I don't understand. That cage isn't secured in place. What of it?
I feel like the lure in the Ava romance route, damn.
Could simply be lifted up.
I know!
So you went inside from the bottom.
What nonsense is this, Takumi? How is it possible for anyone to lift up such a heavy metal structure?
Very true. The cage weighs about a ton. It's not something anyone can move with their bare hands.
Wait, aren't you contradicting yourself right now?
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying it's too heavy to be lifted? Is there even any way to do that?
You used buoyancy. You used buoyancy.
Buoyancy.
You used buoyancy.
A buoyancy. But buoyancy.
That's right. You made the courtyard a watertight space by closing off the drains. And then you flooded the entire place. There's a fountain there, right? You open its valve fully to release an enormous amount of water through the nozzles, turning it into something like an erupting geyser or open dam. You left the fountain valve wide open for a while to fill the space with water.
Huh. The comedian not know math in the flashbacks. Now he knows about buoyancy. To be fair, he had a lot on his mind in the other endings, to be fair. Oh, I'm sorry. Your explanation was so outrageous. I couldn't help but be amused. Takumi, do you not know how powerful water pressure can be? Even if we assume water was released into the environment after covering up any openings, some would still leak out because those walls would be under constant pressure from the force of the water.
No, that wouldn't happen. That's how this place was designed. Because the courtyard was originally constructed for a certain special purpose.
Special purpose? What special purpose?
Well, the flashbacks
This
was Karu and the
was
Chelsea.
a biotope to be used for space development research.
Okay, fair. To be fair, it's not math and even no calculations are done. True.
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressure as many times Earth range. That's what Tsubasa said.
Yeah, that's right. How would I even know the place could be sealed airtight and Takumi hates studying? Because just like with Shoma's murder, I think X gave her exact instructions on what to do. So the question is how X knows. And for what it's worth, Tsubasa could still be X. I tried to guess who X was. In reality, we should have been guessing who X may do the murder. Also, knowing how to do ridiculous things like this is very much Danganronpa logic, and I love it. I don't care if it's unrealistic.
And that's why it's impossible for water pressure to cause any leaks. After a while, the place became filled with water. Considering the water flow of that fountain, it probably took about 3 hours for water to rise to the top of the cage. Shoma was killed at 4 a.m. Counting back from that time brings us to 1 a.m. for the approximate time the water started accumulating.
Even if you're right, the entire cage is made of iron. It literally weighs a ton. You said so yourself.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged in water. Buoyancy doesn't work that way. How could anyone have lifted up a heavy iron structure like that?
By using sturdy rubber balloons.
Rubber balloons?
Ones that can be filled with air up to a capacity of about 10 liters. You inflated 100 of these balloons and put them into the cage. To be more precise, you put that deflated balloons into the cage first before inflating them. Archimedes' principle states that upwards buoyancy force is equal to the weight of displaced water.
To be fair, this isn't math, it's physics.
100 balloons that holds 10 liters of water, each equals 1,000 kilograms. In other words, the effect is 1 ton of upward force.
Okay, that is math. There is math.
That cancels out the weight of the cage, reduces it to near zero. You'd barely need to use a single finger to lift it then.
Can I just say, chat? You guys are all like, oh my god, this is so unbelievable that Takumi's this smart. None of you were complaining when we were in a zombie route. Or when the Gi infection traveled back through time and we spent 100 days being a serial killer.
Or in the least likely route of all, when Takumi somehow managed to actually date Nozomi.
You were easily able to lift the cage with just the slightest effort.
110 liter rubber balloons, that's just not... It would be impossible for you to inflate so many balloons in such a short time. How could anyone have done that?
More than likely used a certain tool.
A certain tool?
Yes.
Well, what tool was it then?
The bicycle tire pump in the parking lot. It's an electric air compressor.
It's mounted on wheels and can be easily moved here. Using that would make it a literal breeze to lift up all those balloons.
I see. That method does make it possible for the cage to be lifted up while it was submerged in water. But don't you find it strange? If the cage had been underwater for that long, Shoma would have drowned inside. If the revival medic stated cause of death is hemorrhagic shock.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death before he was stabbed.
Shoma likely breathed the air that was in the balloons.
You mean hentai then?
Huh?
Or while trying desperately to stay afloat. I've heard of more believable miracles.
Wait, what did I get wrong? Give me a minute. I need to rethink this.
Please stop wasting my time.
Doesn't that if your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death before he was stabbed.
There's a guess.
The cage wasn't completely submerged.
The water only had to stop just below the topmost part of the cage for it to work. Discharging water equal to the volume of the cage itself created the buoyant force needed. Shoma kept his head above the water surface and breathed through his mouth, gaping and gasping for air the whole time.
This is such a fucking horrible way to die. Over 3 hours watching water slowly come up, having to constantly swim so you don't drown. And then the cage lifts and someone just swims under with a knife and stabs you. And you bleed out.
You took this opportunity to lift up the cage while underwater, slip inside, and stab him multiple times.
What happened to the water in the core room after that?
You opened the drainage walls to drain it away.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body. But was it wet? No, not at all.
His head would have been crowded by 100 flowing balloons. He would have suffocated anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought. What?
I mentioned just now that this courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space development research. Because of that, it's perfectly capable of producing a desert environment. Which means it has the ability to blast hot wind around the area. After draining the water away, you activated that setting to dry the courtyard. Due to the lack of time, however, the water didn't dry up completely. When we first discovered Shoma's body, it was actually still somewhat damp. It was dry enough though, plus we were all distracted by Shoma's dead body. That's why we failed to notice the remaining wetness in the area. The only thing we did notice was that Shoma's body was damp.
Fine, I understand. This is utter foolishness. Let me summarize what you were trying to say. I went underwater, lifted up the cage and stabbed Shoma multiple times while he was gasping for air at the surface. Then I dove underwater again and turned the valve handle, opened the drainage walls. Look to me, I'm neither a diver nor a mermaid. Even if I was an expert at holding my breath.
A regular person would struggle to do even one of the things you're accusing me of. And underwater at that.
Hey, chat! Ix!
It's
Ix needed to know about her mask. And only two people understood
what her mask did. That being Tsubasa, who studied the helmet, and then she told the info to us. Yep.
You used your mask, Ava. Tsubasa told me about it. There's a miniature air tank in your mask. It allows you to use it as a sealed gas mask. You can breathe for up to 30 minutes using it like that.
Yeah, I did say that. I never thought it'd work on the water, though.
Yes, I remember now. My mask did have a function like that, but someone stole it from me. That person must be the real killer. Yes, that has to be it. I know I am right.
It doesn't fit anybody else's head.
You've been cornered and you know it, Ava. Just admit that you're the one behind this. Your mask was unique. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. According to Tsubasa, you're the only one who can wear it. You were right, Ava. This isn't a crime that a regular person could have committed. Only a diver, mermaid, or someone with that particular mask could have done it. Ergo, the person who could wear that particular mask is the culprit. And only one person in this world can put on that mask.
He's so smart now. He's using ergo in casual conversation. The idea of a mask only one person can wear is cool when possible to allow for some jaw movement and facial deformation that allow for them leeway.
That person is standing.
But you need to account for the fact that these people have anime heads.
It's none other than you, Ava! You're the only one who could have killed Shoma!
No! No!
Is this Gi Takumi? Why did they pick her though? Chat, here's the thing, right? We know that whoever's the killer is only going after Last Defense Academy students. Or at least their hearts. If we also believe what Flameboy told them, that a shuttle comes down when there's only one remaining Last Defense Academy student, then it makes sense that they would be killing Last Defense Academy students because they want the shuttle to come down. But that doesn't explain the hearts. And it doesn't explain why they used Ava for this. Like, surely they'd want to, like, frame, like, Takamaru or something, right? Because cursed, cured of the Gi, but the Gi data unlocks potential of his brain. Maybe? It's, I don't know, it's weird that Hiroko's not told us anything about it. Takumi, you're right. I killed Shoma. The method and flow of events are as you've deduced. I have nothing to add. But have I really done something wrong? I too had been threatened by X. I had no choice. When did you meet X? A short while before 1 AM on the day 51. Just before the murder, I heard a knock on my door. And you opened it? Yes. Why? The thought that it might be X outside the door did flash through my mind briefly. But I am not a part of the SDU, and I wasn't even here when you saw the threatening note. I just assumed it could not have been on X's radar.
Well, what did X say?
I have the remote detonator that will trigger the bomb inside your body. Here it is, in case you think I'm lying. I'm going to give you some instructions now, but you don't have much time. Follow my orders quickly, or else.
Okay. if X really did show the detonator, that means it's not Takumi. Because Takumi did not accept a detonator. Everyone else on the team has one but us. And I said Eva was one to kill Shonks in the relation to I'm like, yeah.
Should you go against me
Yeah.
or tell the others about my existence, I will detonate the bomb in your body immediately.
Wait, what's going on? How did X get their hands on the detonator?
Huh? Maybe they stole it from one of us.
No, X said they obtained it through the proper channels from Tsubasa herself. No. I duplicate the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi.
I would.
Maybe she did give us one and we don't remember.
Now we are 100% sure that X is one of us.
No, I think you can remove me from that list. I passed the first detonator to Hiroko and never got it back. And haven't received the duplicate from Tsubasa yet.
That is fair. Sir Takumi shall be taken off the list of suspects.
Everybody else started scrutinizing each other with great suspicion, not daring to even move their bodies, only their eyes. Hey Ava, just one thing.
Yes.
X said they'd blow you up if you told the others about him, right?
Yes.
And that's what you're doing now. You feeling okay?
Why hasn't X one up yet, indeed?
I believe they could if they wanted to. The device is small enough to fit within the palm of someone's hand. It could be in the sleeve or their chest or around the waist and no one would notice. It would be easy to simply press the button at the opportune moment. X cannot do that for one particular reason. And what's that? Did that be blown up too right now? Takumi, do you remember what I told you about the bomb mechanism before?
Yeah, I remember.
Anyone standing within a 25-yard radius at the time, we've blown into smithereens. 25!
That makes the blast diameter the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Basically the length of this entire courtyard.
Aha! That's why X is pressing the button.
Because they'll become the blast as well.
And it's not like they can simply run away.
Taking such action is as good as admitting you are X.
That's why X has got their hands tied, huh?
This is a perfect opportunity.
Or what?
For us to get more information about X from Ava. Since they can't blow up, we can ask her anything we want.
Great idea.
Ava, do you know anything else about X? Their height, body weight, body shape?
They were dressed in the same outfits Shoma previously described and used a voice changer as well. So it was not possible to discern who they were by their looks and voice, but...
But...
Ava looked down a short, hesitant silence later. She spoke up again.
Actually, I figured out who X is.
Say the line, chat! Say the line! Say the line, chat! Good job, chat.
How'd you figure that out?
By their mannerisms. Their mannerisms. You know how some people subconsciously touch their chin or play with their hair when thinking about something? Those sorts of mannerisms. They tried really hard to hide it, of course, but I still managed to pick up on them. So... it was X!
All right. I will tell you. X is the real identity of X.
Why did you be doing what we do?
Suddenly a sense of dread washed over me. My mind started working overtime as I went through all possibilities. Maybe X would really press the button now. Everybody thinks X won't do it because that would mean blowing themselves up as well. But if their identity was revealed, it would be the end for them anyway. They might even prefer to die with everyone in the blast over being caught and imprisoned.
Is Takumi going to run?
But in that case, why weren't they pressing the button now? Or Ava could reveal their identity. Were they banking on the possibility that Ava might say the wrong name? If she did, X could just sit back and watch the show without doing anything. And if she really said X's real name, they could always press the button at the same time. Surely that was why X was adopting a wait-and-see attitude right now. It might be dangerous for Ava to say the name out loud. Even if she got it right, everyone would die anyway. Though, I might just be overthinking things. X could be simply hesitating simply because they were afraid to die. What do I do? What should I do? There was literally no time to hesitate any longer. My final decision was...
I'm gonna say no. I don't think they would blow themselves up. I think they're gonna call the bluff. Maybe this hits the fan. This does feel like this feels wrong. But if we say yes, they'll assume it's us. If we say yes, there's definitely gonna be another kill. Can they just run in later, didn't they? Yeah, I guess if one person runs, everyone else runs as well. And chances are they're not the only one who lives. Chat, what do you guys think? Chat, I'm looking for some help here. If you know the answer, don't contribute. But if you don't, no TBH. I'm intrigued to see who she thinks it is. Make a good point. Through the choice, I think no leads to the bad ending.
I decided to let Ava finish her sentence without interruption, however. She stayed silent after that and refused to say another word.
Ugh. She was bluffing. She was bluffing. If we had a ran, that would have been the bad ending. What does the matter, Lady Ava?
X got your tongue.
Or do you actually not know who X is? What?
Then why did you pretend like you knew?
At Ava's question, Ava suddenly... She smirked and let out a chuckle, looking as if she was mocking us. When I saw her expression, the truth dawned on me. Of course, you're afraid, right? You're afraid to die.
That's a new expression.
Even if you were forced to do so by X, you're still the one to kill Shoma. That is an unforgivable act. Then you thought to yourself, I'm going to be thrown into the cage again. This time they're never going to let me out. Why should I stay then? I'll blow myself up and take everyone in the SDU with me. But you were afraid to face death. You never had that courage to begin with. So you decide to leave it in the hands of X, right? The act of pressing the button to activate the bomb.
why you lied about knowing X's identity.
Wait, that means you going along with us all this time was just an act?
When you said you hated Veshness, was that a lie too? All you could do... Also you could gain our trust and gather intel while hiding in plain sight.
Ava said nothing in response. Her lips didn't move for a second. But something else did. Her hands.
The detonator is on a joint in my left pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion.
My body moved before my mind did. I exploded into action and dashed over to Ava at a breakneck speed. I grabbed her left wrist and shouted loudly.
Get away, everyone!
At that, everyone made a mad scramble for the exit. Right after that, Ava grabbed my shoulder and forced me to face her. As I did, I saw Ray's foot end. I felt myself being kicked away. I landed near the exit where there were 5 other people. They had just reached the gate and were not yet outside. The other 5 had rushed to the exit on the other side and were at about the same distance away as well. I quickly stood up and looked in Ava's direction. She pinched her little finger and said,
Is this the courage you said I didn't have?
She pulled on her little finger without a trace of hesitation.
You know, shit. I'm starting to feel a lot less sympathy for the other rats who we brainwash her. You know? So much for the Ava romance route. But hey, you guys want to see where this goes? I do. Thank you for watching, YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.